We in here! We in here!
And we're back. Your low budget, regularly scheduled Draw 4 Squadcast Topics Edition. It is your girl Keem holding down the moderator spot. Gang's all here today. We got T in the house. Okay, somebody died. Gang was all here. R.I.P. to whoever just coughed and died. Draw 4, the Memorial Edition.
Yeah.
Rest in peace.
Lou? God damn it.
He was the one not sick.
Bourbon went down the wrong pipe.
Oh God, how you doing, T?
God damn it, I'm crying
Already.
He was just bragging about being healthy. And almost drowned. I'm drinking. He's like, I'm drinking. We talking about NyQuil and shit.
Like, I feel great. I'm drinking. I got my lotion on. I feel smooth.
You would think Lou would understand karma by now. Like it's been a short week. He's just
nope.
Still going.
Oh fuck. Aunt, how are you? Welcome back again.
And here we go. I've taken some NyQuil, so I'm about to lose my mind.
Okay, so
I didn't know if that was a movie he was playing.
Aunt is good with the voices though.
So it's featuring
just bad with the microphone.
Really bad with the microphone. Can you not sound muffled, and can you also not sound like you're rubbing the microphone up against your shirt?
Listen,
just move the sandpaper.
All right, listen. Is this better? Is this better?
That is better. Thank you.
Okay, look, people, I'm dying. I just swallowed this whole. It's stuck. I can feel it stuck in my throat. I tried to
drink some water.
I didn't drink the water. Y'all complaining about me drinking the water.
Swallow a piece of ice.
You got to lead a water
Swallow
in
a
there,
piece of ice.
and then you gotta. You're trying to really kill him.
No, it'll keep.
Damn it!
It sounded like a good idea.
Like you just don't want the four of us to be a group.
Look,
that's all.
First time
all it is.
First time Voltron been all reunited in like weeks, and we all about to die.
Everybody's on the phone dying, except Lou.
Lou,
not
no,
from sickness.
I have plans. If I go before Lou, he ain't short. He ain't long after this world. Telling you,
he is gonna haunt you to death.
Oh yeah, I would haunt you. I'm not gonna.
Hey, but go ahead and put me on your as your beneficiaries, both of y'all. Let's make it happen.
Watch that insurance out. Watch that insurance out, though.
So don't beneficiaries also take on debt?
Mm-hmm. What?
All right.
Oh.
I'm gonna cash that check. Like y'all do what you will, debt collectors. I'm moving somewhere tropical and sunny.
All right, is this okay? Because I need to lay down on this pillow real quick.
Yeah, you're good.
All right.
He needs $1 and all his IRS debt. Be like, what?
Like we could never catch him till he was in the grave.
Like, what's all this property Aunt say he had? You get over there in his boardwalk. Monopoly pieces and shit.
Oh, shit. Okay, let's go ahead and get started so that everybody can get properly medicated.
Hey, Keem, I know you missed me, but I ain't reading none of them topics, though. I don't know what you're talking about.
I didn't expect you to, and I expect nothing of you but to do absolutely.
You just said that like he normally reads all the topics, though.
Right.
Like, can I blame it on the sickness? Can you believe the sickness?
Hey, Lou.
Mm-hmm.
You know how we was just talking about whiteface?
Yes.
And then this nigga posted on his page today.
Posted a picture of whiteface on his page. Like we were just like, whiteface is not cool.
It's racist. So racist.
It's like, hey, everybody.
Look at this whiteface. Like,
it was a guy with powder all over the crowd and shit in his shirt.
Beyonce is starring in a Lion King?
Oh God.
What? Okay.
What? No, you gotta do. All right. I'm putting this on mute till I need to talk.
Appreciate you. Welcome everyone. This might be the shortest episode yet because I feel like Ant's gonna fall asleep while he's on mute. T is going to take NyQuil halfway through and start dozing off, and it's just going to be Lou talking. I'm going to get mad and hang up. So,
I mean, I only took 6 of those tablets, right? So I should be good.
I didn't even know NyQuil made tablets. I always take
They do
Me
make
neither.
tablets.
Oh yeah, they do.
And normally after 2, you die. So
It's capsules.
Well, R.I.P. Ant. Though. Like I said, Memorial Edition. Lou and
My
Ant.
drinking helped me build up a resistance to NyQuil, so I need a little extra push.
no, you just
Ant.
put some ginger, some apple cider vinegar, some raw garlic, and drink it.
That sounds disgusting.
Why would
Ant,
you take the
Ant.
capsules?
Ant. Before you pass out, I need you to repeat after me. I, Ant, am of sound mind.
I am sound mind.
I hereby
Breathe.
bequeath all of my possessions to
Bequeath.
King. with
All
a
of
TH, not an F.
Oh,
King Queef.
Whoa!
King
Whoa! Whoa! Okay, mute yourself. Mute yourself. Mute yourself. This is all wrong. This is gone wrong. Okay.
I was so good. I said he's going to say queef.
I hate y'all. I hate all of you. Every ounce of testosterone in your body. I hate it. Okay, so let's just kick it off. I guess this kind of could be a bitch you mad topic.
Bitch. I don't even know what topic is for real.
We need a soundboard, but just every time we want to hear Lou go, bitch.
It's better live. It's more authentic. So Tyrese has been in the headlines lately for 2 reasons. The first reason is because he's going through a custody. But who is Lou?
Lou.
I hope you choke
You was
on
about
your
to blame
drink
me.
again.
You was
Well, all
about to
this
blame
sound-
me. I
I
heard
was,
you about to
man.
blame.
I
This is
was.
always the light skinned people on the show. All right.
You got a fancy ass crush
Gotta
ice
take me to the
machine
dark skin
somewhere.
Mo. You gotta take me to the dark skin Mo. As soon as I was gone, it's like, let's get into the darky in here. All right.
Wow.
Nigga,
Love you,
you
Mo.
suggested
Love you, Mo.
having Mo on since you
I
abandoned
don't
us
want-
for
I
a
don't-
movie you
I
probably
don't-
didn't like anyway.
You really
I
did
don't,
suggest it.
don't say that live. You're gonna make him think I like him. I need
And,
It's all
to
right. He won't be able to hear you anyway.
Oh, good to know.
and light skinned niggas don't like competition, so he damn sure wasn't going to invite another one of those on.
Muffled ass.
Nope.
Yeah.
No, we don't mix
Ain't gonna
well
be like,
together.
no, ain't like y'all will not replace me because light skinned people are interchangeable.
Yeah, we need more light skinned friends so we can just pop one in when Ant doesn't show up.
Exactly.
And I love that movie.
Your name will be Ant.
Yeah, shout out 3 Black Geeks. Next time, you're up, Chris.
Chris is light skinned.
Hey, light
Like you
skin.
forgot.
God damn it. Tall ass Ant. That's just gonna be his name. Tall ass Ant.
Sometimes you
Tall
forget
ass
because
ant
he's
with
so
hair.
tall, you don't actually look up all the time to see his face. Be like, oh, right, Chris, that's what you look like.
I be forgetting Chris light skin. I do. I don't know how.
He not as light as Ant.
That's what it is. He's not as light as Ant.
Yes, he is.
No, he's not.
Let's wait
He's
for the
like
winter.
3
We'll see how
shades
it turns
darker.
out in the winter.
Oh, no, not the winner. I lose like 5 shades. That's why I go tropical places.
Okay, that's enough friendly banter.
Island of Caucasus.
Tyrese. So he's in the headlines for 2 issues. The first one is that he's going through a custody battle with his ex-wife. He claims that his ex-wife is just bitter because he got married again.
Mm-hmm.
She says that when their daughter came home from one of her visits, he had beat her so bad that she could not sit down. And so
That's how you're supposed to get beat.
I'm about to say.
Oh, damn, no.
That's for one.
That's
how
That's
you're
called
supposed to get
abuse. That's called
yeah,
abuse.
that is. I don't think I've ever gotten spanked so hard that I couldn't sit
Well,
down.
I wasn't bad, but I thought that was the point.
If I whoop
No.
your ass, the point is for you not to be able to sit down. I need you to stay and think about what you did.
Like, go ahead and make a preemptive.
It's like, if you don't bleed, how you learn lessons?
Now? Shit, no. You punish them enough so that they remember it, but not so that they can't.
All right.
Like, that's torture.
Anthony,
But-
for his licenses, does not approve or promote the hitting of children or people smaller, weaker, or equal size to you in any way, shape, or form. That is a Lou T and Key. That's southernness in it. Go ahead, continue.
Spanking saved my life.
And it's gonna save yours. I'm a whoop and ass.
What?
Um,
Doesn't sound right at all.
so he has been on and off of social media for the past couple of days. Well, actually, because Child Protective Services was investigating the charges, they put a restraining order against him, so he could not have any contact with his ex-wife or his daughter. But he thought it would be a great idea to send. Okay, who?
Really, King?
Damn.
And
Really?
then everybody gets still.
Really, King?
Let's see.
Really? You
I
asked, you was about to ask who? You
I don't want to
literally
racially profile, so I thought.
it's a light skinned nigga in a red shirt. That's what it is.
I am wearing a red shirt. Could y'all hear my rubbing my chest? I try to put the
Yes,
Vicks on. I
yes.
try to
Every
hit that
move
Vicks,
you make, we can hear it, and
putting
every
that
time
Vicks on my chest. Just trying to get that vapors. The
you have
vapors.
painted a picture that none of us needed.
Hey, Aunt, you need a little help putting that Vicks on, my brother?
No, did you see the picture that Patrick posted today? I don't need no help from you at all.
Yeah, and so
For
the
y'all
other
that don't
issue,
know. Oh, sorry.
yeah, we're gonna keep
King.
moving here.
Because he
The
said
other
he
issue
gonna keep on going through
with
you.
Tyrese is that he is upset that The Rock got a spinoff offer for the Fast and Furious franchise, and so he's been popping off regularly about how that was such a mean and selfish thing for The Rock to do. And he's saying that he's not mad because The Rock took the offer. He's mad because The Rock took the offer and didn't consult any of the other Fast members. They're
But what did he post about his daughter, Keem? I think I interrupted you when you were about to say that.
Basically that he's probably going to lose her. It all kind of ties in together.
Not lose her, but
He's going to lose her because he's about to lose custody.
All right.
he's
Well-
even going to court for it. I think it was more the issue.
Well, I mean, they're in court now, but it's probably not looking great for him, especially if the daughter is saying that he beat her so bad that she couldn't sit down.
I think that's the key part. Well, yeah, that's the key part because no one knows if the daughter's saying it. Right now, it's just coming from the mom.
Mm-hmm.
But he's on social media crying.
He just said he wants his baby back. He don't want anybody involved because it's a closed hearing, so nobody knows what's being said inside the hearing. But because he also said, "Man, I'm paying you $13,000 a month. What more do you want from me?"
Your soul, nigga. So.
I need to get pregnant by somebody famous. Split that money with me.
No, why the fuck? Wait, no. No.
Just take all that and then you split it among the crew. It'd be great. We will help raise them. Well, not Lucas.
Did you
he'll be
just pimp out my ovaries, Aunt?
Yes. If I believe me, I would take one for the team if I get Oprah pregnant. If I get Oprah pregnant, I would do it for you.
And you probably get somebody pregnant just because.
This is true.
They don't even have to be rich.
This is true. People. I need a son.
Mute yourself. Yeah, so Tyrese was ranting today about how he's not upset that the Rock took the offer for the spinoff movie, but he's mad because he didn't discuss it with the other team members, and because of that, franchise, like their next sequel is getting pushed back so that The Rock can shoot his movie. So because of that, they're not making any money. He's already spending $13,000 in child support, and now he's got all these attorney's fees for the custody hearing, and so he's probably going to be broke. And now he's saying, I'm probably not even going to be able to afford to get my daughter back, and I'm going to have to give up because I can't afford to keep going to court. Yeah, so that's pretty much his issue right now. And then I guess somewhere that he started to threaten the Rock's family. Like it was a crazy rant that I read. Like it started out about wanting his daughter back, and then he gave shout outs to Martin Luther King's family, and then he started talking about somebody not needing to cut their hair a certain way anymore. It was a lot. What'd you say, Lou?
I read all of that. That's way too much.
It was a lot. I was like, where are you going with this?
I heard part of the rant, but I didn't read anything about it. Well, not rant, but I heard the video, I should say.
Is the case happening in California?
Yes.
I don't know about California laws, but so if he's accused of so taking someone's kid away is a real serious thing, and I've seen parents like torture their kids and still get their kids back as long as they meet the court requirements. So this could be temporary. It could. I mean, I doubt. I mean, there have to be some real serious stuff going on for him to actually lose custody of his kids, like more than we actually
Yeah.
see. I don't know California laws or anything like that. I'm sure it's expensive to fight because I'm sure it's hard to fight because I'm sure she's using his own money for her lawyer.
Exactly. He's both of their lawyers.
You got the state and everything like that, but even if he lost his kids temporarily, they'll make him take classes. They would make him see counselors, things like that, to get his rights back. Because one, the state, if you're paying money for a child, if you're seeing a child, the state don't want to take that kid away from you. At least Maryland, and the state doesn't want any situation where they'd have to take care of that kid. So having both parents that willingly want to take the kid, they'll work for that. Like Maryland is a family first, even though I think there's issues with that, a family first state where no matter what, the goal is to make sure both parents have contact, custody, things like that. I'm not sure what California's like though.
Okay.
I'm just hoping the defense isn't bringing up clips from Baby Boy.
He's a nigga for that, too. Damn it. He's a nigga
Well,
for that.
Tyrese would be okay. It would be Snoop that would be called into question.
No,
because he
Tyrese
fucked up that
didn't.
little boy's fort. So
No,
He was
no.
like the worst father ever in Baby Boy.
He was really bad. He was really Bombos was watching the kids. He asked for tacos during sex. He just all
Slap
fucked
the
up.
shit out of the kid, mama.
Yeah.
He damn sure did.
Threatened the mom a lot.
Did he?
Beat the shit out of her.
Violent
Yeah,
temper.
he slapped the shit out.
Yeah.
Remember when
Yeah.
she was young?
I mean, it looked like an accident, but I guess
And
that's
he
the
couldn't
same
fight.
I'm
reason
sorry,
why
baby.
you
I'm sorry.
And he couldn't fight. That was he can't be no dark skinned bald guy can't fight. That's I don't even know what you're doing with your
Well,
life.
that's how we knew it was a movie. Man. That's how we knew it was a movie. If it was real life, he would have been light skinned. But
well, that light skinned rock took his job. So. And let's be real. Let's be real, Tyrese. Don't be threatening to walk off
Right.
Fast and the Furious or anything like that. That is your meal ticket. Y'all knew when The Rock got in here, The Rock was gonna get his own series. It's The Rock.
oh, and that's the only part I can speak on. The stuff with his kid. I mean, he's saying it's not true. She's saying it is true. She has been a bitter ex for like the last 2.5 years. So
And even with the accusation,
I don't fully know. Because I know recently they're letting him see he saw his daughter like 3 days ago for the first time in a couple of months.
yeah, probably with a supervised vision. Once you make the accusation, there has to be an investigation,
It was
and then at the conclusion of that investigation, and then the social worker or state is going to make a recommendation to the judge, and the judge is going to review that evidence and see whether they need to go forward or what happens with that. So this is all. I'm sure he's concerned. He
we
should
gotta
shut
stop
the hell up.
talking about shit that you know about, and
Oh,
But that's good. And giving us awesome information on this because again, I can't hear about with the kid shit. I can only hear about with the movie shit. I know.
well,
that.
I worked in the child care and treatment foster care system for like 5-6 years, something like that, and then I worked with the Baltimore City, Maryland state courts with these. So I think, but I only know Maryland. California might be a whole different thing. California is like you divorce somebody and you got to pay them money for the rest of their life. Like that's
the
anyway.
past the 10-year rule, right?
Yeah.
Lou, you think he feels like he has seniority at this point because Paul Walker ain't there?
No, with the movie, and this is the movie. The movie is different, and right now they're playing it like Tyrese is the only person mad about this. He's not the only person mad about this.
He's the one vocal.
It was
well,
reported
Vin
when it
Diesel
first
had
happened.
made some.
And
Yeah, Vin Diesel had made some comments.
Absolutely pissed about this because, like, for most people who don't know, the studio is the one who wanted The Rock to be in this last movie. Vin Diesel, who has complete control over the series, wanted nothing to do with The Rock. To the extent,
Well, obviously, he doesn't have complete control.
No. What I mean by the studio, they had to beg him to do it because in the end, Vin has complete say so on who's in it, script wise, everything that happened. So they had to go to Vin and beg him and pay him. What was it? $50 million up front, Ant? Something like that.
It was
they paid him like
something
$50
like
million
that
up front because he did not want The Rock in this movie. at all.
Vin Diesel does some really smart things when it comes to the things he wants. Like it's I wish he had somebody that told him no more or restrained him some, because he has the right to all the Riddick stuff too, and he did that. He got that because he did that little cameo at the end of Tokyo Drift. That was his payoff for that. And then when the revitalizing the Fast and Furious franchises, the producer credits actually mean something when it comes to
because he's not an executive credit. He's actually a producer's credit, and those are always big.
You could lose The Rock in that movie. You can't lose Vin Diesel in that movie. And that's
the key part of it. I don't think Tyrese is the only one who's pissed. One, he's not the only person who. That whole cast together, when they were all doing a press for the last movie, the only person that was missing was The Rock. And that's because him and Vin got into it at the end of that movie, and Vin told him, I don't want you to be around me. And he told the studio, I don't want him to be around me. So
and they weren't together and all in that last movie.
So when it comes out that you're doing a spinoff with him and Jason Statham, so you're doing a spinoff. Statham. I can't fuck his name.
Statham. When
you're doing a spinoff with the two newest characters in a series that's been going on since '99, that causes a problem for all the rest of the actors involved, because they're like,
but it would be difficult to do a spinoff of original characters.
No. I mean, I don't think they want a spinoff at all. The whole point was they never wanted a spinoff. They're like, why the hell are we doing a spinoff? Like, in all honesty, this is not a series that lends itself to a spinoff at all.
Well, this is what I'm saying. The last movie set up the spinoff. The last
spinoff, just make it with those two in it.
But no, listen. They made that because it made no. In story-wise sense, I know it's just weird saying this for Fast and the Furious. Jason Statham's character being a part of the team made no sense. Made no sense whatsoever. He just killed the people they were calling brother the last movie. Han, the coolest Asian actor we've seen, a male Asian actor we've seen in the last decade, got killed by this guy, and he's forgiven now. It didn't make any sense. And the Rock and him stuff, it just didn't make any sense. But that whole movie, all their scenes was lent to go, oh, look, I got a brother, I got a mom, we got this whole little spy thing going on, we can be cool characters with honor, all this stuff. And the other characters that have been in the franchise for a year, they all took a backseat to them.
How did Han die again?
Jason Statham ran into his car, flipped him over, and then lit the car on fire with a minute.
We saw him die.
Mm-hmm. I mean, yeah, but it's Fast and Furious. So.
Right.
No, he's dead though. Once you kill an Asian, you don't bring them back.
Because that character was around. That character was around before the Fast and Furious franchise. He was in another Asian movie, so it's really fucked up that they killed this character that was in another franchise to come over and just kill him.
Yeah, you might as well.
Anyway,
but, like I was saying,
this wasn't a Fast and the Furious discussion.
Yeah, this is more about the Tyrese. You know what? I think it just didn't come across right for him to say it, but in the end, I don't think The Rock is going to be in 9, because I don't think Vin Diesel is going to approve for The Rock to be in 9. I don't think he wants anything else to do with him. And this spinoff was the final straw for Vin. I want to say Michelle Rodriguez and probably Tyrese. And
because this is their paycheck.
Yeah, so don't nobody give a fuck about Tyrese though.
But not only is it their paycheck, but in all honesty, out of those three, it's their franchise.
Yeah, pretty much.
It's no one else's franchise. Luda is the only other person because he was in the beginning, but like literally Tyrese co-starred in one of these movies.
Yeah, the second one.
Right after it. Like this is his franchise, not The Rock's. And I think it is fucked up that The Rock signed on for a sign off.
No. Because there's no actor out there that can tell.
I'm gonna need you to listen. I'm gonna need you to listen. It's messed up that he signed off on it without Vin knowing about it. I don't care what the studio does. I don't care what the studio does. No, but here's the problem though. When you come into that collective and you consider yourself part of that collective,
did he though?
Then they offer. That's the key part. Yes, because The Rock has said plenty of times that he did consider himself a part of it, and that's the problem. Don't portray that image to people, and then you do some shit like this, and then all of them look at you like, "Wait a minute." You at least come to us and say something about it. It's the equivalent of you being in a group of any form or fashion, and someone comes to you and say, "Hey, how about you go solo?"
Look.
And you say, everybody. You say, fuck everybody else in the group.
No.
And then you decide to go solo without necessarily telling anybody else about it.
No, listen. So let's say we brought Mo on. Let's say we brought Mo on, right? Let's say we brought Mo on, and Mo, and we like, man, we don't like that Mo. No, Mo cannot be on here. And then like somebody was like, no, take this money and get Mo on there. Now, I want Mo around me though. And I was like, all right, Mo ain't part of this group. When we all crying when Ant dies, Mo wasn't there. Like so Mo get a different offer. You don't want to be around him. He takes that money. That's his career. You worry about your career. I worry about my career. That's how that is.
Not
It's
when you're
not his
piggybacking
job to
off
tell
of my
you,
career.
huh?
Not when you're piggybacking off my career. And you've already said that we're
They use The Rock to promote themselves too, especially after Paul Walker died. The Rock is one of the draws for the movie,
Is he?
and
Let's bring this
I would
up.
say
Last
so.
based off of what? Because the movie dropped $500 million from 7 to 8. Paul Walker has never been a person who can produce that much money. Now, did it drop because currently The Rock is going through a box office backlash where his movies are not producing like the way they used to do because people are tired of seeing him. So, do you credit The Rock for the box office backlash, or you think he's adding to that series? Because that series was going that way without The Rock. So the point
I don't think The Rock is back. I don't think The Rock has marketed himself.
And then this last one did 1.2. That's a $500 million drop.
I don't think The Rock has marketed himself to be the action star he could have been, or the signature star he could have been. But in the way they promoted these movies, they made The Rock the forefront character, more so than Tyrese, more so than Luda, more so.
When shows get to 7 or 8, are they traditionally going up or staying neutral in sale counts? Though, aren't they going to go down no matter what because people getting tired of the series?
Not movies.
What movie
Really?
got to 7 or 8 where the ratings didn't go down?
What about when the movies continue to get worse and worse?
James Bond. Most movie series they get to this point, they tend to go.
James Bond?
James Bond dropped, didn't it?
Since when? Because you do know Skyfall was the biggest movie in that series history, right?
When was Skyfall?
That was 2 years ago. That's 30 years after the series. Skyfall was the biggest movie.
Okay, but then they change up the whole cast in Bond. Doesn't Bond change the whole cast?
Movies have been the biggest Bond movies ever made. That's 25 years after the series started.
Well,
so
I mean, what about when you factor in inflation and all that?
Even with inflation, well, it's hard to say because that's ticket sales. But then, are we talking about ticket sales or money that it generates? Based off money that it generates, Skyfall generated well over $1 billion. But even for even to bring it back to the Fast and the Furious franchise, and as T said, any other franchises, once you get past film franchises now, once not the traditional horror movie franchises that we're used to seeing when we grew up, because those in the 90s don't really exist in this anymore because they're not movies that's put in theater. Once you get past, I would say the 5th movie for things that's put in theaters, for a collective of films, they tend to go up because you built your audience at this point. At that point, you either cater to your audience or you get a different casual audience.
I kind of feel like
the franchise has managed to get a casual audience past that initial audience while still holding on to that initial audience.
I'm kind of only can think of like 5 franchises that have.
How many can you name that's went past 7 films?
That's what I'm trying to think. Like you have the Harry Potter films, right? So you have that. You can kind of count Star Trek, but like Star Trek films changed their whole cast and kind of their whole aesthetics.
Have they managed to keep on to their original audience while building
Star
on the casual
Wars? No, I would say not. Like if you look at the last Star Trek movie that came out, it had lower returns than not the one after that, but the first Star Trek with the new universe thing, and it was a better movie. It was a better movie than the second one.
Bigger budget.
It was a better movie. I'm not talking about budget. It was a better movie.
It was not a better movie though. Not even close.
Star Trek Beyond was a better movie than Enter Darkness or whatever. It was a better movie.
Hey.
But again,
rabbit hole. Long ass, deep ass rabbit hole.
Okay, my point being is I can only think of Star Trek, Star Wars, James Bond, if you want to count that, Batman.
Yep. Keep on going, because it's a big ass one that y'all pay attention to, that you pay attention to a lot, that qualifies on this. A huge
Harry Potter.
Keep on thinking. Keep on going. It's a big one that you pay attention to a lot right now. Matter of fact,
are you talking about Marvel movies? Because I kind of don't count those.
Why not? Because Hollywood does. The MCU is a collective.
I agree, it's a chapter, but I kind of feel like it's different because every movie has a different tone and a different thing. I don't feel like the Fast and the Furious movies is this is what I would say is the Fast and Furious movies get worse as they go on. I mean, I don't even count the James Bond ones.
We're not even talking about the quality. The only question he asks is the return supposed to be lower. Not when you get past the 7th film. The return should not be lower.
Right. So we're talking about five. We're
You're
talking about
completely
5
rebooting
to.
a series. Your return should not drop at that point.
So we're talking about the 5 to 8 movies movie franchises right now, right?
When the returns drop, that's when your franchise is over.
So at this point, it shouldn't even be an issue for Fast 9. Like they shouldn't be doing it. They should go ahead and give Rock his spinoff and then.
Here's the about when Vince said that they were going to do it, because Vince is the one who announced that it was 9 and 10.
Jesus.
And it's
It was their next trilogy. It was their next trilogy,
But
right?
the problem is he announced it and he ain't pick a cash yet for it. So to me, it's a great chance that Universal looked at it like, oh no, Vince's not going to let The Rock be in this movie. We're going to spin him off. But yet, a lot of that still goes. I got to find out and read how much of that still has to go by Vin, because that's going to be the key part. Because you can spin off that character, and Vin from mentioning Fast and the Furious in the movie.
Wait, but we're talking about the rightness of him doing it without telling them. That was the whole point of the conversation.
Yes, because
right?
Actually, the whole point of the conversation is Tyrese justified in being a salty bitch about the whole thing?
Yes, because the whole cast was. It wasn't just Tyrese.
Okay.
But you say The Rock was
the guy.
obligated to tell them.
To me, he was. Once you do that many movies and you build that type of relationship with people, if they're supposed to be cool with you, that's the equivalent.
But they
of
said they
saying,
were cool.
Fuck all of y'all. No, his thing. Him and Vin have said
If he
that.
knew
Him
it
and
was
Vin
supposed to
have been
delay the movie, then
but
he should
no
have
one
told them.
else. And especially when they give you a timeline about it. Exactly.
Yeah.
Because
Once
he
you
knew
know
that.
it's supposed to delay the movie, you should tell them that.
If you cool with somebody, you tell them stuff.
But
they're
are they
not
cool though?
Him
That's
and
the whole
Vin
issue.
aren't cool, but supposedly the rest of them were pretty cool.
I don't
Vin is
see.
your
I
only
don't know what you're
co-sign
taking.
movie.
I don't know where you're taking that from though.
The Rock's own language.
But you can't. But that's like saying, "Oh, I love the character." No,
No. He said we all are like a family. Those are my friends.
That's the tagline for the movie series. That's the tagline for the movie series.
If he's saying that and Tyrese is feeling this way, that means you're telling them this too. See, we're not just basing it off just what he said, because you're also basing it off of Tyrese's reaction. So the point that Tyrese is coming out and saying, man, you should at least told us what you was doing. Dude, if we're not cool, I'm not even mentioning you telling me what you're doing. Fuck you. I could care less. But if you perpetrated a fraud, which unfortunately for The Rock, this is something that has been going around about him for a while now, is that he's really faking your face in a completely different way around your back. So they probably thought, nah, he cool. He ain't like that, fully like that. People could beef with Vin. Vin ain't the easiest person to deal with. And then he do this shit, and they like, oh. So now I see what everybody was talking about. So you're going to fake and perpetrate like you was cool with us until this shit happens.
Good Lord. Fast and the Furious, the last one made over $1 billion.
Nigga, I literally just told you how much it made.
I don't pay attention to what you're saying. As soon as you start listing numbers, I start fading out. I faded out and I came back. And I just looked it up. Over $1 billion for that dumbass movie.
Hey, Lou.
That's man.
Can you cut the camera off on whatever device you are speaking to us on?
I literally have no camera on. I don't even have the camera connected to my
So
computer.
Tyrese is
Nigga,
worth...
I am looking.
Right.
I don't know what you're looking at.
So Tyrese is worth $25 million.
That's just a picture, King. It just looks like a camera.
It's a picture of okay. All right, cool.
So Tyrese is worth $25 million. He can't afford to pay $13,000 a month. He's gonna go
plus
broke.
Legal fees. He's not. But if you're not bringing any more money in, that $13,000 a month.
You worth $25 million. You can't wait another
But
season.
what you're worth isn't your.
I'm about to say, because what he's worth is a lot to do with tied into businesses. That's not liquid assets.
Right.
Not only that, that $13,000 a month is just for her. That has absolutely nothing to do with his overhead. Those are two completely different numbers.
Yeah, that's the child support that he's paying. But then she comes and stays with him, and he has to take care of her at his house too.
And here's the question though: is the $13,000 is that just child support? Because everywhere I read it was just child support.
Mm-hmm.
And I asked that question for a good reason, because what the fuck is he also paying his spousal support? So that's his ex-wife. So he's paying her more than $13,000 a month if he's only paying $13,000 a month for child.
So if he only has $15 million liquid right now, if he only has like in cash, he could pay child support for 96 years.
So is child support the only bill he has? Eh?
I'm just saying he could pay $13,000 for 96 years
but think about
right
it.
now if he don't earn another cent.
But is child support the
At
only bill?
15.
So what about spousal support? Because he's clearly paying that also.
That didn't sound right.
How about mortgage, which he possibly has? How about his mom's mortgage, which he possibly has? How about
that in there?
Yeah, he bought his cleaning lady a car.
It's not
married.
Like that's what I said. His overhead is way more than $13,000.
So does he not pay? So is he paying? If he loses this, he's paying child support. He's not paying child support now.
No, he's paying now.
He's paying child support now.
He's been paying his $13,000 for 5 years. This is not a new number.
So I don't get it. That again, right now, if he don't earn another nickel at 50, if he only has 15 million cash, he could pay for 96 years.
But who says he has 15 cash?
I'm about to say I don't know why you would think it would be that high.
Hey, we're gonna go to 10 million if he's 10 million cash. I don't get it.
We don't know.
And you're only talking about his overhead when it pertains to child support. Literally, he may have a mortgage that's double that amount.
Very possible. And
he may have spousal support that's more than that. And that's along with.
Well, then he needs to get to adjusted. He needs to get to adjusted income. He needs to get adjusted income.
How can he get that's
it's legal fees for that. I mean, it's legal. It's legal.
No, because in Hollywood, it's about his potential to earn. That's why he pays that much. So it's actually his potential to earn is high enough because unfortunately,
Your Honor, this light skinned guy stole my job.
Like that's not going to go down. I just feel again. The Rock was clearly dirty for that part, but the shit with his child, I'm not talking about it until way more information is released about that shit.
I don't think he was doing
that. Drop that 2.8 million.
Because all that shit about the kid and the beatings and shit like that, like his ex has been saying this shit for like 2.5 years.
How old's the kid?
10.
Don't you get tax break if you pay child support?
No.
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 Someone felt that. Okay.
No, the government don't care you pay child support.
No, they ask you if you pay child support.
They ask you.
They don't care when it comes to your taxes.
What's the point of asking?
Huh?
What's the point of asking?
General knowledge.
But the mom doesn't have to pay taxes on any of that crap. That's free money. Oh, the other parent. The other parent. It's free money.
It's fucking free money.
How is it free money when you still have to take care of your child?
If he takes care of that kid half the time, he still got to take care of that kid. He's with her now.
For a reason, King, because I'm about to say something bad. Because ain't no way in hell that bitch need $13,000 a month for child support.
Nope.
No, I'm sure she doesn't.
No way in hell. So that kid's getting $800, and the mom was getting $12,200 a month.
And like y'all said, he still got to take care of that kid when she in his house. If he only have it to the summer, he ain't getting no check. He don't stop his payments. He got to pay that money.
And then they got shit to do with spousal support. Jesus Christ.
Nope. And he got to pay that money whether the Rock ticket's free or not.
And I'm pretty sure he's probably got some sexual harassment settlements that he had to pay.
Oh, you know that.
Into our next topic.
Good job.
Because I'm tired of hearing y'all bicker about this bullshit. Yes, so there.
Tired on that topic. Just wait to this one.
Rock don't owe them darkies nothing. Go ahead.
It's about to be a 5-minute conversation. Yeah, so there has been quite a bit in the headlines in the last month and a half or so about it's basically just been like somebody the closet and opened the closet door and tried to pull one little thing out the bottom, and now everything is falling out. Yeah.
Nah, I just saw with him because he's been saying the same shit for.
He's been very open about his molestation.
Yeah. No one cares about him. They would wish somebody would molest him now so he can shut the fuck up about it.
Right. Put something in your mouth.
Bullshit.
We here at the Draw for Squadcast do not condone or promote or agree with molestation of any kind to any person.
Except for Corey Feldman.
Nobody. No one. Yes, so it all started with, what's his name? Harvey Weinstein.
Harvey.
He had, no, what the fuck are you doing? Don't clap for that dirty ass bastard. He gets nothing. He gets nothing.
Let's go, Harvey.
I wish you could see the look I was giving you right now. So Harvey Weinstein had a number of allegations come out about him, about how he was using his position of power to sexually harass and assault different females within the industry. And so it started out, what was it, 8 women that started out? I don't even...
Go up.
The number got so ridiculous. Like, I know there was like a set group of women that started out, and now basically my timeline is crazy shit that Trump says and another male celebrity that sexually harassed and or assaulted someone.
Everybody sexual racist at this point.
I want to point out that this is a big difference between one of our first topics and Harvey Weinstein, because we talked about how could Josh Whedon be a feminist,
Huge difference.
and about how he can't be a feminist if he used his position to get to have sex with actresses or whatever. It's a big difference between being more attractive because you have resources in a position versus cornering people in the office and whooping out your dick. And I think that we gave a lot of flack as a society to Josh Whedon for just admitting, yeah, I'm around a lot of attractive people who want to have sex with me because of who I am, versus somebody like this who has predatory tendencies.
Okay. I'm gonna still say Josh Whedon ain't shit. It's just that Harvey Weinstein is a higher level of ain't shit than Josh Whedon.
That's it. That's how I see it.
That's all it is. Like, nobody was saying that he was a predator or anything like that. I'm just
there were people saying it.
Well, I did not.
Well, I'm not saying nothing because you never know what else could come out.
This is true. This is
I'm not
true.
fucking vouching for nobody at this point.
Well, I mean, everybody that said something, like Ben Affleck said something, they pulled out a 1990 MTV clip of him grabbing someone's breast, and it was like, oh,
on TV. Like, oh god, like, it's other issues because I think they're lumping everyone in with this Harvey Weinstein shit. Even though I'm going to blame Harvey, but I'm also going to blame a lot of those actresses too.
Whoa.
I'm going to blame a lot of them.
Are you blaming the victims, Lou?
Oh no! You want to know why I blame them?
Yes, I need you to elaborate.
Why the fuck did it take to 2017 when a New Yorker article came out, and then you decide, okay, because of this victim, I'm gonna share my truth about Harvey Weinstein, and the process did not warn some of those women who you saw walking into that same situation with him. Are you fucking crazy? Because some of them were friends, and you didn't say shit to them about what he does.
Well,
and now you come out about it.
Well, there's a lot.
Some people are saying that too.
Yeah,
some people are saying
some
that.
Some of the other actresses are coming out and actually saying that. Like, we were cool, and you never mentioned to me the type of guy he was, and you let me go into these certain situations.
There's more complicated than that with people, especially sexual abuse victims. You could have somebody saying, "Oh, maybe it was just me, but it was my fault." You don't know what stage they were in when this was happening.
The ones he raped, though, not the ones he raped. Matter of fact, because
it doesn't have to be rape. It doesn't have to be
allegations of rape. I'm talking about any woman who he just came on to. I mean, literally, we've had women who's like Rose McGowan, who clearly saying he raped her, but she has a lot of her own issues altogether. But she's been vocal about
being raped.
She's been no. She had these issues way before Harvey Weinstein.
My point is that it doesn't have to be rape. Any sexual assault, the things you go through first, it could be like, oh, did I encourage this? Did I do this? You don't know what stage they're in. You might want to admit it. You don't might want to.
Some of them niggas said that they got warnings beforehand too.
But again, it's
so
more
they get
complex
warnings
than that.
about it. They get warnings about it, and then it's equivalent of it's a killer around the corner. I know he killed her because he tried to kill me.
Hey Lucas, don't go to jail. I got raped in jail. Oh my God.
Who raped you in jail? I don't care about you getting raped in jail. Who raped you in jail? That's the key part there. Is
some nigga got Bob. I don't know. But I'm saying is you might not know what stage you're in to deal with that. You might not know what stage you're in to deal with that. It's
like
really
nobody
hard.
warning you about Adebisi. And
you walk in and you just raping niggas left and right, and you like, nigga, you knew.
But you know Adebisi don't rape. But
you ain't telling me that.
But Adebisi don't rape everybody. And again, you don't know.
He just rape little light-skinned niggas.
Also,
Harvey Weinstein was doing that shit to everybody.
Also, it's real fucked up. But sometimes in human nation, you want to see what happens to somebody else, and if it's happened to them, it's human.
Love company.
Happens.
Yeah, and there's a lot of trauma involved with that. And also,
they're so fucked up.
Mhm.
It is, but it happens. It's part of human nature, and it's I don't know how to explain this, but it's also really difficult to be in a position like that where you feel like you have no power, you feel like no voice, you feel like, especially I think if you're a woman in Hollywood, you have to be really careful about how you're perceived. I think that's all that rolled into one, and everybody can make a joke about this, and everybody know about it, and nothing happened. So if you're a young actress and this guy's been doing this for 20 years, everybody knows it, and it happens to you, you might not feel empowered that you can actually say something and it not affect your career.
What about
And
when
we've
you're an
seen
old
it.
actress?
Well,
What'd you
we've
say?
seen it. We've seen it when they've put it in movies where someone, the victim per se, is trying to warn someone else about it, and then that person thinks that they're just trying to block their blessing or whatever the case may be.
Well, not even block their blessing, but you see, and okay, so this is a lesser extent, but you see like the women who deal with dudes, like the dude already has, like Sierra when she got with Future. Now this dude has multiple baby mamas already, but she thought she was going to be the special one to get him to like be cool and be with her and be faithful, and then that shit didn't work out. So I feel like she probably did.
I think she slept with Future for a come up. Those are two completely different things to me.
All right, but what about the altar boys and stuff like that? They knew that this pastor or this priest was raping little boys. They didn't say anything to their friend. Hey, like, no, don't be. I want to be an altar boy. No, you don't. No, you don't want to be an altar boy. Like you. I mean,
Harvey, at a certain point, because especially since some of the actresses are now coming out and blaming some of the men who may have known he had this type of behavior.
Yeah, and a lot of the men are saying,
and
that
the men are saying, yes, we did, and I kind
and
of
they feel bad. Well, no, some of them are saying they feel bad,
but some of them saying
that
they feel bad
didn't
because they didn't say anything about it. But to me,
right
at that point, according to that, I shouldn't feel bad about shit. Fuck you, figure that shit out on your own.
no, I'm not saying whether you should feel bad or
That
not.
wasn't the point.
It wasn't. I'm saying that we don't know where they were at in their trauma. We don't know how they felt. You know, the pressure that was going on. It's again, we talk about social responsibility and understanding what you're dealing with. You know what I mean? And we don't know what they were dealing with. So to blame somebody else because they couldn't speak out or didn't speak out then, we don't know where they're at. We don't have enough information to judge that either way.
And you gotta hold your mic or lean forward.
Like you're gonna have to stop speaking and mute yourself for a second, Auntie, until you stop rubbing up against your mic.
Oh, I'm
You
sorry.
just gotta hold it.
Yeah, I gotta remember to hold it.
That's what I do the whole time.
Yeah.
Cool.
So my whole point is that I'm not saying no, they shouldn't have. You can say, yeah, they should have warned these actor actresses, but there's so many other factors going in there, and there's so many other pressures that we don't know what's going on. We can't judge every case in a blanket cookie cutter way. It's individuals, and if you and just knowing how people deal with trauma, sexual trauma, especially how that affects you, and it might be something they just didn't want to think about. How many times have we been in positions just not in those kind of spotlights where you just don't want to think about it, but yet it was enough of an open secret that Stephen McFarlane that could make a joke about it and everybody knew exactly what he was talking about. Or that, Kevin Spacey wants to act like he just came out now when it was like a glass closet that that's a phrase a person used with me this week, that he was in a glass closet. Yeah, and I was like, I didn't even know what that was. And I was like, oh, that's pretty interesting. It makes perfect sense.
That's a good visual, actually.
So this was one of those open secrets that everybody knew apparently. So what else could you say? And then also the fact of how many people do you know to do something was like, oh, it was so stupid. I saw all the signs. Or I felt for her anyway. I don't want to be one of the people that talk about, I was a stupid one. And now I'm the person everybody's talking about how she was stupid.
For me, then I don't want to hear about that shit now.
Well, the other part of it is, and you're like, how come they're just coming out now and how come they didn't warn people and stuff? Like, we're in a different time now where society is actually listening more. Back in the day, you could probably say that and they'd be like, oh, okay.
This shit happened a year ago though, King.
That's a piece of the
who broke the story against Weinstein?
The New York Times.
But who was the actress involved?
So I think what you're asking, T, is like, so Lou, you just said that just happened a year ago. So some of
them, not the article. I'm talking about some of the other ones who are coming out now and saying they were abused. Happened like a year ago.
Right. Because they were either ashamed or afraid to come out because they don't want to be blackballed. Like, just over the past couple of years, we've gotten into a place where...
I'm going to ask a horrible question here, King. How many of them do you think are coming out because they don't want to be blackballed or because of the attention that it's getting?
I'm
See,
sure
that's
you
why I
have
was
both.
asking who it was, because is it someone? I mean, I'm not saying that they shouldn't have came out. I'm just saying when we're asking about the timing of it could be one of those reasons.
Oh, it is for some of them. That's known, but
So you have to take it by case. We can't make a blanket statement on anything. And again, like we know certain things exist. Like we knew that what was it? Michael Bay made that the girl that's in Transformers or was in the
Megan
Transformers movies.
Fox.
Megan Fox washed his car. That was a casting couch situation. People laugh about that. So we know this culture exists. We know this culture exists for men and females that have both been. They're coming out talking about how they were molested. Hopefully that makes jobs safer. But maybe Hollywood's one of
Hold
those
your
last.
mic.
Oh, sorry. Hollywood's one of those industries where one of those last bastions are still holdover from the '60s kind of thing, where this was part of course. If you want to be a up and coming actress and you don't have the right benefactor, you're gonna get sexually inappropriate comments or sexually inappropriate advances. And maybe now they're shedding more light. Maybe it's a time where they didn't feel they could do it before. But
Well, are
now,
they mentioning it now because their careers are at a standstill, or are they mentioning it now because they, is it more of a I don't have much to risk at this point kind of a thing, and they're coming out? Because that also plays into not warning people about it. I mean,
100% so for some, 100% so. It's a lot easier to speak out when you're not getting jobs anyway.
Yeah, and then for others, this was their time to. Can you mute your mic?
hold the mic.
Yeah, hold your
Thank
mic.
you.
Hold your mic.
Yeah, for others, this is their time to speak their truth. Like they've been holding on to this for so long, and they probably felt guilty about not being able to say anything and not being able to come out and living with that for a long time. And now that they see that these other people are bold enough to actually come out and risk it all and say something, and they're speaking up, like, why not lend your voice to that? Because sometimes when one person comes out and says, this happened to me, nobody wants to believe them. But when you have like 100 people come out and all give the same story, like, no, this shit happened to me too, then
and there's the
now
freedom.
you can't be blackballed from it.
Yeah, there's the freedom of not having any more of a stake in stuff. So if you're fired or you're not getting jobs anyway, you doesn't matter
because they still being blackballed.
It's kind of like those Republicans coming out this week talking about, I'm not running for re-election. Trump's an idiot. Like they couldn't say that before because they wanted to get votes and they don't want to defend their base. And now they're like, no, I don't care. I got my money. I got my paycheck. I got all I'm going to get from this. Here's what I really think. It's kind of like when we go back to the Rock thing. If you're
something
selling
shitty
a movie,
about that, though.
Yeah, but it is something shitty about that. It really is. But if you look at the overall context, but I don't have to live in that world. You know what I mean? I don't have to. Where if I want to be an actor, this is my goal. And if I think that if I say something, it's going to hinder me from reaching my aspirations or making this my career, I can't judge you. I could judge for politicians because it's more maybe, but I guess to your point, it's a shitty way to be. But I can't discount it just because now you feel like you're free enough to do it. It's kind of like we're talking about The Rock. Everybody who sells a movie, we think it's crappy if you sell a movie and be like, no, we're not really family. We don't even really like each other. But go see the movie about family and us liking each other and do anything for people you like. Like, maybe we respect that more, but that would be a disservice to the movie. So maybe it would be disrespectful. Maybe it would be, you should go out and say, hey, this really powerful guy is molesting me, and I should take the chance or molested me, and maybe I should take the chance of being ridiculed or blackballed. Maybe those kids should have been like, hey, this priest is molesting me. Don't be an altar boy. But maybe they felt no one was going to believe them or no one was going to care or, oh, everybody knows father.
Or they said something and nobody did.
Right. And I don't want to be like Mary, who
did
say something and didn't get any help and she lost her career. So no one believed her. She didn't get justice and she lost her career.
But we don't view kids.
At least I can work.
So, okay. I don't like that comparison because we don't view kids the same way we do adults.
But with that whole altar boy situation, that was kind of the thing because it kept getting swept under the rug until.
But this wasn't swept under the rug. Though.
More recently,
this was out in the open. Like that New York Times article didn't reveal anything everybody in that industry didn't already know. Nothing at all. Nothing at all was revealed that no one already know. Hollywood is a reactionary place, so they're just reacting this way because now the public knows about it. So our secret that we all already knew about this dude is now out to everybody. My issue is always going to be but things happen and you don't speak up about it. Certain actresses, especially the ones who did it for their career, like an Ashley Judd, who clearly did it for her career, because she was still working with this man because he was making her money. After he harassed her, she still continued to work with him and for him.
Which in a way,
but we don't know how she was feeling about it.
No, here's the thing, because we punish that whole don't snitch culture and shit from neighborhoods and shit that I grew up in. Like, that shit is punished of, man, so you're telling me just because this person got killed, you ain't gonna say nothing? It's like, dog, I still gotta live in this environment. Well, nah, that's still not a reason to be quiet. We expect them to be honest and truthful, but then you're telling me the same thing for them actresses don't matter?
Oh, I don't expect that at all.
Matter. That my issue is the same way across the board. If you did that shit and you held on to those secrets because it made your career and you profited more off of not opening your mouth, fuck you.
Nope. See, I have a different story. Like, with somebody working in an institution, if someone wants to say something, I'm very clear with them. Like, hey, you still have to live in this world. And there's only so much protection a guard can give you. There's only so much protection that you didn't give you, because you still have to walk out in that street. So make sure that you understand the consequences of what you're about to say. Now, it could be a greater good. It could be what you feel is your moral compass, and I would applaud that. But at the same time, I can't judge somebody for thinking they're going to lose their livelihood and career.
Than you, though, Ant? Because you always say that to me. How different is your view of that point of view? How different is your view than the rest of society's?
Oh, I would say very different.
Exactly.
Kaepernick protested in his contract year.
Yeah.
Colin Kaepernick protested in his
when he got
contract year. Well, no, he had a lot to lose.
He had a lot to lose.
Think about it this way. Remember, because the contract was guaranteed at the time.
What contract was
guaranteed? It wasn't really. It must not have been that guaranteed.
You remember
that one? No, you're right.
No.
That 1 year was
Colin Kaepernick, yeah, because that's when he was guaranteed the $16 million.
And at the same time, your contract year is when you make the money for the next one.
Because that was also the year that at the time they were talking about cutting Colin Kaepernick because everybody in the league thought he could no longer play quarterback. I had to play clips for somebody earlier this year who didn't question it. I said, "Oh, you don't remember the beginning of that season where the goal was San Francisco was going to cut him after trying to trade him to Denver for a 4th round pick, and Denver said we're not giving up a 4th round pick for him.
I'm just going to put this blanket on me real quick.
Unless he wants to take a pay cut, we're not going to do anything." Colin Kaepernick came out when it wouldn't hurt him the most financially, because right after the season, him and his agent did say we would look at Colin's willing to look at that protest coming into the next season.
Okay, yeah. What up, T?
Next topic.
Look, are you waiting for me to say anything? I thought you had a question. Okay.
No.
I told you I was going to come across as an ass in that topic. I already knew I was. But I just got mad when I saw some of them.
Most topics, Lou. So it's not.
I got really, really mad.
Where I thought you were going to go, though.
Not all of them, because I understand some of them. I understand some of those point of views. But when I was hearing some people talk about, because I was at a point in my career where, and I'm like, is that the reason why?
What I would say is that where I thought you were going to go is that let's not do a witch hunt for everybody at whatever point they were an asshole. You know what I mean? Like,
I wasn't going there, but we didn't talk about the other people.
Oh, okay. Well,
I was going to go there too.
But like, my thing is not excusing anybody's behavior, but like I think that if let's take Ben Affleck for example, when he comes out and says, "Hey, I was a dumb kid back then, and I what I did was wrong," when he grabbed that MT woman's breast or whatever, or booty. I don't remember what he grabbed. He grabbed something on the girl.
He grabbed her breast on TV.
Her boob.
Yeah. It was. And then she was talking about how scarred she was afterwards or whatever. I imagine that she did feel like this happened on TV. I could just go with the party culture or whatever. And I'm sure no one was chastising him saying, "Hey, that's inappropriate." You know what I mean? Which just encouraged that behavior at that time. You know what I mean? People come out and talk about Arnold Schwarzenegger's affair. Didn't drop his public opinion at all, because we assume he's a famous movie star. Yeah, a lot of people were sleeping with him in the 80s. You know what I mean? Like no one, we expect a certain culture, or we not expect it. We accept a certain culture in different environments. And in those environments at that time, you know.
I don't know that the environments restricted it. I mean, that whole Me Too movement, you know, it's pretty prominent that people were at some point molested in some type of way. And I remember being a kid and we saw, what was that movie? When dude had to touch the old girl butt on the
The
on
wood.
the basket, the wood. Yeah, like I remember that stuff being games when we were kids and stuff like that. And who knows what people consider.
That's harassment.
That's what
I'm
I'm
not saying
saying.
that.
Like
Not saying that's a
assault.
joke. Literally, that's harassment.
That's sexual assault.
Yes, it
that's
is.
what I'm saying. So back when we were growing up, I mean, it was
Accept it.
not
Acceptable
only
behavior.
it was like, yeah, it was almost
Expected acceptable behavior.
yeah, it was like encouraged as far as like for boys. It was kind of like a coming of age type of thing, and where we got to figure out where that culture.
Or
I think
just
that culture is changing now,
Yes.
or it needs to change now, but
Is it?
I don't see
I
how
think
it
people
was
are being
too
more
different
aware.
from even a regular
I
person.
don't think it's
back in the
changing
day.
from
I think people are
kids.
being more aware. I think because if you go to the whole thing like oh, girls can't rape boys or things like that kind of mindset, or even look at the Revenge of the Nerve movies in the 80s. There's a point in the first one where the guy puts on the girl's boyfriend's costume and has sex with mask and has sex with her, and then she falls in love with him, and that's rape. But the 80s had a different
Can I ask
had
a
a different
question?
thing.
A weird question here. Damn it,
Maybe.
Ant may not be able to answer this. Ant's not going to be able to answer this. How did your parents view that type of stuff when you were growing up?
Damn it, Lucas!
That's what I said. You.
And then you had to point it out, though. You could have just asked the question and then let
Stuff like
let
what?
us answer.
Like,
I mean, I
the
can tell you
Revenge of the
my
Nerds and stuff
few
like
interactions with
my mom and like
I couldn't hear you. I couldn't hear you.
The adults that I was around, they didn't view that behavior as just innocent.
Which behavior? I can't remember.
Grabbing booties,
The grabbing the butts and stuff.
Freaky Friday. None of that shit to them was viewed as innocent.
No,
That
it
shit
wasn't viewed
was
as innocent to my mom, but it was the type of culture that didn't make it back to the house unless you got in trouble.
So then my question is it because to me right now that same behavior and what we're talking about now is not an issue with kids. It's an issue with adults. Is it because we're now looking at it through a different prism?
Yeah, I don't
We're
think
not
it's
kids
only
anymore.
looked
Yes.
at as adults.
Because
I think,
kids do shit like this every day, all day. This is
Right,
nothing new to them.
and that's what my point was. It's not just in Hollywood, and this Me Too thing can go a long way. Like by the time social media is here 10 years from now, and the people who are teenagers now, it's going to be like instead of one of every 4 women, which I think now is one in every 3, it's going to be every woman because
So
it's something that hasn't gone away from the
Well,
playground.
So as Ant said, it's
Have you
just
seen
something.
the,
Are we doing eventually? Are we getting to the point where it will be just a witch hunt for everything you've done in your past to bring up?
I think so. I think it is kind of a witch hunt now because then it automatically mutes you from having any conversations. It's like y'all say how Josh Wheaton isn't shit, like, and he didn't even molest anybody that we know of, and then I think that rape is a really good thing that we don't really talk about, where rape now can consist of, and it's really sexually biased, where it consists of if I'm drunk. If I'm drunk and a woman comes to my house and has sex with me and she's drunk, I can consider rape, but she would not be considered rape. Or even if you take the one of the great video about rape is the T, like treat sexual interaction as T. But based on that, 2 drunk people can't have sex. And I think that I don't know one person that hasn't had drunk sex. So where does consent stop? And so you have to be it's all encompassing. You know what I mean?
But that sounds like the complicated portion of it, though. Like from where kids think it's more of an innocent thing, and we just said you are shunned, like you are disciplined for it in the
But think about
household.
office culture back in the 60s. If you about smacking butts of waitresses and things like that, there was a point in time where that was acceptable.
It's
It
going
was
to be a PSA, basically. It's going to be a PSA that's in schools for.
A lot of that culture is still accepted in certain workplaces with no issue.
certain workplaces, yeah.
No issue with the leadership, but I guarantee the people that are on the receiving end of that probably don't like it, but they also want to keep their jobs. I can speak firsthand that the people who are on the other side of that have an issue with it, but they want to keep their jobs.
But that's what I mean by certain industries.
And there's certain women,
I work, unfortunately, in the industry that if I could tell you how many times I've had my private parts grabbed while I was at work by female coworkers with absolutely no issue because it's not viewed as an issue at all.
And I think that goes towards what Ant was saying too, though. Would it be if it was the other way around, Lou?
Huh? For what?
Well,
if a man was grabbing a woman
and grabbing by the pussy, then that would be an issue. They would want to file an EEO complaint.
Not at all. Not at all. That's what
So
I said.
they
It
would
all
be
depends
cool
on.
with that.
I think that's your job, but I think
I said the industry. It all depends on the industry you work in.
But
Right,
The
but
okay,
industry I work in,
okay.
that's not necessarily. Well, let me rephrase that. The industry at the position I was at, that wasn't an issue.
Okay,
That's
but
the
see,
best way to
here's the difference though. Everybody's grabbing everybody's stuff, and nobody has a problem with it. When you have a person of power saying, "Hey, I'm going to grab your stuff, and you're not going to say anything if you want to keep your job," that's an issue. Or you're just making these unwanted advances at people. That's an issue. So I think when the whole Me Too thing, and even though you feel like it's a witch hunt when people are calling out, like when Ben Affleck came out and was like, "This is disgusting. This is deplorable." And then somebody was like, "Oh, but it wasn't disgusting when you grabbed this poor girl's boob."
Yeah.
It's important to let people know this is the bullshit that you've done, and it was unacceptable then, but it's definitely unacceptable now. So everybody needs to learn from your mistakes so that we don't keep doing the same stupid shit over and over again.
So if you apologize for your mistake, should it constantly be thrown up in your face over and over again?
because that's what's happening to Kevin Spacey right now. Well, Kevin Spacey kind of messed up though. Oh, he messed up a lot.
But his is altogether odd because everything I'm reading of it, this was 30 years ago, 20, 30 years ago, somewhere in that area. Because they say Kevin Spacey was 26. What, he like 60 now? He look old. I'm not sure.
It was in the 80s. It was in the 80s, they said.
Now, he's saying, I have absolutely no recollection of this ever happening. The guy is saying he seemed to be completely out of it. Like he wasn't even there.
Oh, yeah, he said he was completely out of it, yeah.
He was a 14-year-old at a
16-year-old.
16-year-old at a party with
at a Hollywood party. That makes sense.
At a Hollywood party with older people.
He was there to have sex. So, nope.
No.
Let's just say those
so,
type of parties and that type of environment back in that period in the 80s was, I mean, those are the same ones that Drew Barrymore was drinking at when she was 13.
Yeah. I'm curious though, why is it accepted at Lou's industry? Why is it acceptable?
What, that type of,
because they don't care.
That type of harassment?
Yeah.
It's a normal place for them. That's all and I don't mean like normal place where it just started. That shit, it's ingrained in a lot of them.
I'm not comfortable with you talking about the subject and relate to your job.
It's equivalent of being
right.
Big no, because
when I worked in retail,
I'm a manager at a job. We know this happens because we tell them this is something you need to stop having happen.
I am not comfortable with you talking about this in your relationship to your work.
But I have no issue at all talking about it.
Okay.
At all. No issue at all talking about it because this is something that happens on the sites that I work in because I know that profession. Because at one point I was an officer at that profession, so I knew what happened. But in all honesty, not just my profession, any law enforcement entity, this type of stuff happens.
I'm sure, and it happens in the military and things like that. I've been sexually molested at my job before, or sexually harassed in my job before, at multiple jobs. So I think it happens, and I think for me as a male, sometimes I feel like there's nothing I could do, especially depending on the structure. I think that it's when it comes to sexual harassment, when it comes to how people feel when there is a power differential, it's really hard to judge. It's really hard to judge. And that power differential could be there's somebody above you in management. It could be whether you feel like no one's going to listen to you because that person's popular. It could be because you're a male and the perpetrator is a female. It could be a lot of different things. So I don't like to generalize people judging why somebody didn't do something without knowing the specifics of that particular case. I would say that I think that we've all done stupid things when we were younger and grown. I would say that I don't think anybody pulled Ben Affleck up and said, "Hey, you shouldn't be grabbing breasts." That seems to be his thing. I think they came out that George Bush Sr. or whatever has been telling the same joke about grabbing women's butts in front of his wife. He didn't think there's an issue with it. And now they're coming up saying he's been sexually harassing women all this time. But no one, I'm sure, over the last 30 years has come to him and say, "Mr. President, you can't make that joke. 50 years, you can't be grabbing this woman's butt and making a joke about it and laughing it off. That might have been cool back in your day when you were doing whatever, but it's not cool now. And it wasn't cool back then, but no one chastised you about it." So
go ahead.
So I think that some of it's education thing. It's an education thing, and really women feeling comfortable enough not people feeling comfortable enough to express when something's sexually uncomfortable. I had a woman tell me that it's not sexual harassment if you want it, and I thought this is way too complicated. It's a way too complicated thing. I don't want to be involved in this. So So I'm just saying that I think that human sexuality is really complicated. Human interaction is really complicated, but we also have to put context of when these things are happening. We also have to realize that everything's not fight or flight. There's also appease, and a lot of people, a good portion of our culture is taught to appease situations to make things nice, rather than say when things make them feel uncomfortable.
All right. And
So
with that,
cool.
we are gonna, yeah.
I was thinking when I was watching Stranger Things, you know how they're try to take smoking out of movies and stuff like that. How come they haven't taken high school drinking nowhere close to being out of movies? Like, it's constantly in movies. It's not even a problem. They're not being condemned about it. Like,
That's accepted in society.
is it?
Yes, it is.
Well, people know what's happening. I don't know if they necessarily accept
Smoking
it.
is not accepted at all in society. People know
It's
how
a
it is. It's not
reality.
accepted. But high school drinking, man, that's a rite of passage for most people.
It
And it's
happens.
still viewed that way.
That's crazy to me.
Man. Oh.
Anyway.
Okay. Not sure where that fell in the in the Hollywood harasser
That's because Kim, you
category.
pick these fucking serious ass topics. Where is our jokes at, lady?
Actually, this was T
We're talking about Wendy
selection.
Williams falling. That was funny. But then it
No,
doesn't get
okay, that
funny
was
if
not
she's
funny.
actually like sick and
I feel like she may have had a mini stroke. So let's just move on to something else completely different because it's not going to be funny in a second. Okay,
damn it.
so I'm not going to make fun of a woman who I think just had a stroke on stage.
No, I
Like,
agree with that. But
I
I think
can't-
it's worse than that. I literally thought it was worse than that.
If the bottom half of her body that we saw in that bathing suit got to carry around the top part that we see every day on the show, you're gonna have
Damn
a
it.
mini stroke too.
Because if you listen to her words before, we're not getting into this, King. Go to something funny, King. Damn
I'm
it.
trying to. Yes. So, okay, actually, I don't really know how funny this is going to be, but we'll see how it turns out. So the other idea that T pitched today, I'm throwing you under the bus, T. The other
Yeah,
idea
you
that
are.
T pitched today, in case this shit don't work out. Y'all not putting all this on me. So T, help me walk through this. That's the other reason why I'm putting it out there. So your
Good luck.
question was when, okay, so let's say there's a couple and the couple has mutual friends. When that couple breaks up, those mutual friends, what is their duty
So
after
yeah,
the
okay.
breakup?
So let me preface it of why it came up. Last week in one of my my groups from college, a friend had another friend who was going through a divorce. And I guess it's a bitter divorce, but she had asked her to she was like, yeah, all the paperwork is finally going through, it's about to be done, blah blah blah. If you could delete all the pictures that you have of me and him together from the wedding and from anything else, if you can delete them all, I'd appreciate it. And she was like, okay, girl, yeah, I'll do what I can. And so she spent like over an hour on her Saturday doing that.
Nope.
And right. and she so apparently there was some more posts that were searchable that she was listed under, blah blah blah. And the friend hit her up during a work day and was like, hey, there's still some more left. If you can get to it, I'm ready to reactivate my account. What I told her as soon as, because she was asking us what's the responsibility of the friend, what's the responsibility as a friend? I was like, the word responsible is too strong for me because there are no responsibilities as far as I'm concerned as a friend to do anything when you break up with somebody else. But like, what are the lines in friendship? I have friends who are still friends on Facebook with my ex-wife. I haven't asked them to do anything about it.
Right. And I mean, I understand that breaking up and divorces and all of that can be painful, having been through one. I get it. But also, like, don't make your friends go through jumping through all those hoops for that. Just, I mean, move forward. Like, I know when I got divorced, like, somebody hit me up like, oh my gosh, I was looking through your pictures and there's still pictures of you two together. And I was like,
Right.
oh, there's probably a bunch of them. There's albums.
Right.
And they were like, why aren't you going to delete those? Because I don't have time to waste my fucking life going through and deleting pictures of the two of us. The
Why
shit
are you
happened.
going
It's
way
fine.
back in my shit to see those pictures?
Why are you looking back 2 years ago?
It's bad enough YouTube be popping things up for like 7 years ago. Be like, oh crap, YouTube. Like
Facebook.
oh,
Facebook.
Facebook. Yeah, I'm sorry guys. The night was hitting.
Yeah, I can hear it.
That's going hitting hard, but like that seems
See-
like too much work.
Oh. Ant's voice got like 3 octaves deeper, and his speech pattern just slowed down ridiculously. Like Ant sounds like a legit thug right now.
Why is that doing it for y'all? Jeez. All right.
It's not doing anything. You just sound weird. Do you need to go so that you can get some rest?
I mean, my eyes ain't open in the last 8 minutes, but I remember to hold this microwave down.
Proud of you for that. So,
Right.
Ant, give your opinion on this, and then go to sleep.
Yeah. So this is what I would say. I can't expect you if let's say you and Lucas were dating, right? And we're all friends, and y'all break up. To ask me to go back and erase my memories because you can't cope or process that was part of your past. That's too much. That's too much to ask your friends. And don't put your friends in the middle of stuff, because these are the same people that you wanted to bond with in your relationship and everything like that. It is none of their business. And I think if you didn't learn when you were younger, I'll say this: I had roommates. I had 2 roommates that dated, and one of them stepped out on the other one and did them dirty. And I tried to get in the middle of it because I was like, these are my friends. These are like my family. And you know what I felt? It just made things awkward, made things more awkward, because both people get together, they stay apart. Got nothing to do with me. It has nothing to do with me. It's not my business. It's something that I wish I knew now. I wish I knew then that I know now. And I still got people now that go through divorces and be like, well, you can't be friends with both of them. That's not your decision. If I haven't betrayed my friendship with you or them, that's no, you divorced them. Am I going to throw it in your face? No, that's not my job. I'm not going to post pictures that make you feel weird. I'm not going to do anything like that. But you can't ask me to curtail my behavior because your relationship didn't work out. Especially if you fostered me having a relationship with them. You wanted that bill to be bridged, and just because you want to crash it, I got to crash that now. That's a lot of relationships are work. Relationships are work. Having to detail my Facebook with who's in what relationship is like having to be a wedding planner every day. Like Uncle Bob don't like cousin Jim. No, I ain't doing all that shit. So that's my 2 cents. People grow up. You need to realize that things don't work all the time, but because you can't handle it, then no, just deactivate your Facebook or social media account until you've gone through therapy, until you've had some processing time. Then you can deal with it and come back. But don't ask your friends for all that work. It was probably awkward enough for them just to know y'all were going through it, because one of y'all told that half of y'all business to the other place, and one of y'all told half your business to the other one. Now everybody know your business, and no one needed to know your business. I didn't know Jimmy cried after sex and said he wasn't pleasing you. I didn't need to know that. I got to go play basketball with Jimmy. So yeah, I'm gonna put this on you.
Doesn't play basketball.
Okay. Night, Ant.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I think the best thing in a situation, if you're a couple, you break up and you have mutual friends and you don't want those memories, then go through and untag yourself. So then that memory doesn't pop up for you later. But if you think I'm about to waste an hour and a half of my fucking Saturday deleting pictures of y'all,
that's me being nice.
No.
I tell you to go do something else to yourself.
I probably wouldn't go that far.
I would.
Nasty. But yeah, I'd be like, well, no, you just need to go through and untag yourself in the pictures that you don't like. But I'm not about to sit here, A, and take all of these pictures out, and B, and then go through and delete statuses and stuff because you did a search and found yourself. You found yourself. Take care of it. I'm not doing that at this point, and I don't know how old they are, but I'm going to say if you're over 30, then act like a fucking adult and just move forward.
Yeah. I had friends, not mutual friends, but I have friends that I met through my ex, and really only, some of them stay friends with me on Instagram, and like one of them, he still reaches out every now and then. One of the other ones that was like a boyfriend of one of her friends will reach out every now and then. But like majority of them just, when they saw that the relationship wasn't working, just decided to kind of take sides. Even though me and her was mutual. It was a mutual decision, and we had no beef. They took sides, and it was just kind of weird. And I don't know if it was weird from for them to see me with someone else, kind of a thing, if that plays into it, or if it's just they just figured they had to choose sides, kind of a thing.
Could be both. Could be that it was weird to see the two. Could be that so like I have a friend. I have a friend that she's not friends with my ex, but she ended up having a friend of the girl that my ex started dating.
Mm-hmm.
And so she started seeing them tagged in pictures and stuff like that. And I think there was some kind of comment. And so we were riding somewhere one day and she looked at me and she was really concerned. And she was like, I have something I need to tell you. And I was like, okay, what's up? And she was like, your ex, he's got a girlfriend. And I was like, oh, I knew. Okay, it's cool. Oh, you're okay? And I was like, yeah, I'm fine. But I say that.
Yeah, people kind of did that with my ex too.
Right. So it might be one of those situations where, you know what, let me just go ahead and unfriend him or unfollow him so I don't even feel compelled to go back and tell, because like I want my ex to find somebody that he can be happy with and move forward with, because I want that shit for myself. So I'm not going to sit here and be like, I hope he never finds somebody. No. Go do you and be happy and enjoy your life, because I am trying to do that for myself.
So let's think about that though. Like, okay, a good friend of ours, if we stayed friends with both afterwards, right? Mm-hmm. And the other person is dating someone else, how hard would it be for us? And we're mostly all aloof when it comes to being in other people's business. How much of an urge would we feel to want to gossip about that?
I would not with that friend.
Well,
I mean,
not with that friend, but
we might talk about it internally. We might talk about between us four. We might say some shit, but I got nothing to say about anything else. Only purpose that I would say this is that if like your best friend, I don't want to see. I might want to see my best friend hanging out with my ex somewhere. But like, if you're just in a friendship orbit, none of that stuff. And I don't care if they date. You want them to date. But I will say this:
I wouldn't even want my friends to unfriend her because we aren't dating anymore.
No, I wouldn't want that.
I wouldn't want that because, like you said, Aunt, if you wanted, I don't know, if you brought them. If you wanted them to have a relationship together, I also don't hear Lou, so I'm not sure if he has it on speaker.
It's probably Lou has an echo.
Yeah, Lou probably walked away.
Yeah, because every time I see you talk, I still see sound popping up on Lou's. I'm gonna mute Lou for right now.
Okay.
Then here.
Okay, but like you said, and like if you made it a point to have them be friends with that friend, because that's also a thing. You choose who you want your significant other to be friends with. So once y'all stop dating, it'd be wrong to say that y'all can't be friends now, basically.
Yeah, or never ask me to be friends or be friendly with anybody
in the first place.
Yeah. Don't ever do it, because once if you ask me to do that, like if you said I need you to unfriend or delete all these pictures, all right. So you just set the standard. Don't date somebody else and try to have
around your kids.
Yeah. Don't be asking anything else about this stuff. Like, don't ever ask me to interact with anybody you're dating, because I'm not doing this. I'm not going
to build a relationship that has more of a chance of not working than me and their friendship. Like,
and I have no control over this. So all right,
that friendship can the chances of a friendship ending for some reason are way less than the chances of that relationship ending.
Right.
Like, that relationship is almost 51% chance of not working or more in some cases, as opposed to
Lou's asking why he's muted.
I told him.
All right.
And I unmuted him.
Yeah. So I'm curious what Lou has to say about it.
Lou,
if he heard any of it.
Are you even here, Lou?
All right. So I think people need to grow up.
Yeah.
Realize that
y'all talking about something I don't know much about nor care.
So then why did you care if you were muted?
Because you won't fucking mute me, that's why.
Oh, but I did. I pressed what I pressed.
You know I'm be best friend.
You need to hear me say I don't care.
I'm be best friend
myself
with Luke's wife. I'm gonna be best friend with Lucas's wife because apparently she ain't going nowhere. So I know that's gonna last forever.
Are we talking about social media friends or just friends in general?
Both.
Friends in general. But the thing is, in today's society, when you're friends in general, like you have a friend that gets a boyfriend, y'all hang out, you have a good time, you see him at another event, and then one of y'all is going to friend request the other one because you want to be able to tag them in pictures or whatever.
I love y'all. I love y'all to death. Whenever I get with somebody, y'all not allowed to be friends with them. For.
You don't want me to be friends with your significant other because I would say 90% of my friends who have like gotten boyfriends or girlfriends, and then the boyfriend or girlfriend has friend requested me and I've accepted, a month or two later they break up. So I'm like, no, don't add me. Like I want your relationship to work.
I agree with that.
And why?
No.
And I agree with that. I feel the same way about that. If she said that she sent y'all a request, I wouldn't necessarily debate it, but I don't necessarily think that's.
I think we should ask permission. I think people should ask permission. Do you mind if I send your friends a request? I don't think. No,
you should definitely. You should ask permission.
You should ask permission.
I don't even do that. Like
to keep up with me, how is important social media to you?
I'm still friends with ex's
for me,
sister.
it's not. So I'm
still friends with ex's
the need
sister,
to do it.
Which is really weird. I feel like she's only friends with me because she used to go through my stuff for her sister, and we're still friends. Every once in a while, it'll pop up like something going on with her, and it was
Like she may have y'all number. She may have y'all number for emergencies and shit, but that's it.
Like I said, I wasn't interested because y'all know my story already. You know how many uncles, aunts, and cousins I had that's from ex-relationships? That shit I paid no attention to that shit. I have so many cousins that were in relationship with actual cousins. They became my cousin. That shit don't end.
What the fuck Lou talking about?
It's like meaning in a situation where you gather
Lou talking about fictive emotional family bonds.
When you gather that relationship with someone.
Oh, because you got
based off of a relationship. Like that shit don't end. I don't even see why it should end. So that's why I'm always
That's what we saying. That's basically what we saying. We don't see why it should end just because that their relationship ended.
Right. And it's twofold for me. So I know that there are I'm still friends with some of my ex's family members on Facebook. We don't really talk or hang out or anything, but it's just nice to see everybody's doing okay. And then I'm still friends with some of the friends that I met through him. But once we met, we actually started our own separate friendship because we had things in common that we would talk about. Now, there were also people that we would just attend the same functions and, so we were friends on social media or whatever. As soon as they found out we were breaking up, they unfriended me. And I was fine with that because we never had, there was no real connection between us anyway, other than that. So if that's the case, then go ahead and unfriend whatever. But
you know what? There's exes
every day.
See how you doing?
My mother would be like, "That's still my daughter. I don't give a fuck if y'all."
That's too much. That's too much togetherness. I can't do it. I don't no.
Well, at the same time, nieces, the niece of my ex used to tear my phone up, hit me up with texts and calls and stuff like that. That's too much. That's too much for me. I can't really do.
Well, it depends if that was happening the whole time y'all were together.
No, also you got them other female cousins that'll come out of nowhere, be like, "Oh, how you doing?" Start trying to friend you. Like, nope, I don't want to get involved in that family drama. You ain't gonna do all that.
Oh yeah, and none of that.
And only family that was there, but when the situation was going on.
Right.
Well, no, but then they
was involved.
Yeah, but I have a.
Oh, if you were involved, then you always.
There's an ex's father. There's an ex's father that I used to I would talk to him into the night, and she'd go to bed, and I missed talking to him. It's kind of like
what the fuck are you talking to into the night?
We just talk. We had so many things in common. It was like, really, I ain't got no parents. So I was like, oh,
you got on Anthony.
No, I would be I would drop her off, and me and him would just get into conversations, and we would just be sitting there talking, and she like, I'm going to bed. I'd be like, yeah, okay.
That's different though. Ex-daddies, nah, that shit gets cut immediately.
What?
But she can still be friends with the mama?
Yes, I could be. Not daddies though. No. That leads to way too many problems.
That's just weird. But
you know why? Here's why. Because it leads to problems for her. Daddies are normal. to me, daddies will compare the guy who's supposed to be the provider for their daughter more often than moms do. Moms can just love you for you and still accept that her baby moved on. Dads, on the other hand, will compare every nigga to you, and that will be an issue for her. And I wouldn't want to do that.
Be like the Flash.
Anybody
last night.
Anybody I'm with, anybody who I was in a relationship with, I'm still cool with. So I would tell her, like, hey man, your dad was like a close relationship, and I know where this is going to. Your mom and me could be cool because your mom would treat me like a baby, but she'll accept you moving on. Dads have an issue accepting their baby girl moving on from a nigga who they thought was perfect to take over for him.
Oh, my dad did not give a fuck.
Depends on what daddy walked
we've
in
had
on.
discussions before, maybe because your daddy didn't think it was mad at anyway.
Oh shit.
That's fucked up. No, I mean my
trying to think of
dad
that
was
statement.
my dad was cool. He was just like, can I get his number? And I was like, no, why?
Oh no,
Like,
see, there you go, King. See, you bullshitting. Your dad asked for his number.
yeah,
It's
but then
completely
my
different.
dad was like, just because
Yeah.
y'all not cool anymore doesn't mean I can't be cool with it. I'm like, okay, but if y'all were
See how
that
she
cool,
tried to say
you
daddy
would have had his
cool?
number.
And
So
then
no,
daddy
you
asked for
can't
the
get
number?
it now. But my dad also, I love my daddy. My dad has also done things like he's gotten me jewelry and stuff like, this necklace is really pretty. I feel like it will draw attention to you so that you can meet somebody and date and get married and be happy. So my dad isn't like, he wants me to move
Happy,
on.
but they'll be compared to the guy who he thought was great for you in the first place.
I don't know that he thought that.
And him
though.
asking for the number could be a minute.
That's what I mean by King. It all depends. Like, have you ever? You wouldn't know this, King, but I can ask T and Anthony.
Ant.
Oh, Ant.
Did you forget who the fuck you were? Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Have
Have you had a situation where, like, a girl's dad loved you to the extent or cared for you to the extent where you knew he would compare you to other niggas that she was with once you
Yeah.
in that relationship?
All it takes is a cookout. All it takes is a cookout.
That shit is so
At
much
the grill.
pressure. That's why
At the grill conversation. At the
I used to
cookout.
leave romantic like citywide puzzles for the girls, and it got the dad in trouble. And he was like, my wife was asking how I never did anything like that for her.
See, not to
And
that extent though. I'm a talker, so I can meet with a dad and man, we can talk about sports. We can talk about sports for 8 hours.
so that's because you're likable, Lou, and T's likable, and I'm likable. So like, and they look at us, and we're not
develops
completely.
that bad thing when we break up. I can't continue that with you. The mom, on the other hand, I can
No,
continue that
man.
with her because again, moms move on so fast. I can still be somebody she like, and
You break
accept
you,
her
but if
baby moving on
you
to somebody
connect
else.
with the dad, when you break up with that girl, you also breaking up with that dad, and especially
And it's
if
a
that dad
heartache that he takes,
yeah,
and
and
he
if the
wants
dad
to
ain't got
hold
no
on to that
sons,
relationship. Like
right? If
you
the
was the
dad
perfect son-in-law,
right, and if the
No.
dad ain't got no sons, or if you like the son,
Jesus.
Oh, I've got two
yeah,
brothers. So maybe
Preach.
that's why my dad didn't give a
yeah.
fuck.
So
See,
I've
so
got his sons
also,
already.
I think it's the mom looking at it from a heart standpoint.
Yes.
Like her daughter needs to move on, and she understands that she check on you like, oh, how you doing, baby, that type of thing, happy birthday, that type of stuff. But the dad looked at exactly like Lou said, like you replacing him as far as actually taking care of his daughter.
You the provider now. You doing everything that I was gonna do for my baby is your responsibility.
I think also women understand relationships a little better. Where this might not actually be the end, so I'm gonna keep it good with you, and I'm gonna keep checking in on you. This rotation might come back around, but if it doesn't, it's cool. We find somebody new, or I know why this didn't work. It's okay. No, baby, I understand. No, let him go. She ain't making no mistake. Let him
I got
go.
an ex from 5 years ago who mama still talks to me.
Mama's, yeah.
That is just disrespectful.
I thought this mama hated me.
Here's the thing, okay? Her daughter is married. She still talks to me.
And mamas can see their daughters for what they really are. So
Yes.
mamas can see why. Like I know a mama
she
that I'm
went for
still
you anyway,
cool
baby.
with.
You just need
I'm
somebody
still
else.
cool with, and she told me I get why that didn't work out.
Yeah.
She dealing with this. Where daddies don't see that. Daddy's like, why are you leaving us? Why you leaving my daughter? You were good enough for a girl.
Say it again. Damn it. I'm about to be over here. Say it again for me. God damn it. Daddy say, why are you leaving us? It ain't about why you leaving her. If you get close to that daddy, it's why you leaving us. Why you gotta break our heart?
Right.
We love
So,
you. We
it's
were
not
rooting
even-
for you.
It's not even
Right.
really about the daughter. The daddy just made a new friend and he don't want to let go of that
Right.
shit.
And also,
It's
for
The
selfish.
daddy made a new son.
His
Daddy,
daddy made his
found
son.
a new replacement.
Right.
Yeah.
And also for dads, also you gotta think. All right, I'm okay with what this guy's gonna be doing with my daughter because this guy's gonna be her primary,
You don't
her
understand that
husband.
because she's a daughter.
Yeah.
No, I see where you're going with that, Ant, because
Yes.
it's like, you know, I knew that we avoided a bullet of having a knucklehead motherfucker come in here
Right.
and be with my daughter because she was gonna be with you. Now I gotta worry about that shit again.
Right.
The
Right.
fear is all back again that she gonna end up with this
Right.
dumb motherfucker
Yeah,
that's gonna
there's
piss
still
me
a
off.
chance that this shit
Yep.
may get fucked up.
Thanks for translating that for me, T. Thanks.
You just needed a couple
Every
motherfuckers.
Yeah.
in there.
father
Yeah.
of a daughter's worst fear.
Yeah.
Right. So
So when you
so
get a
good.
good one and you think your daughter got a good one, that's why when dads think their daughter got a good one, even if the daughter knows at a certain point in time that this is not going to work, that daddy will talk to her about, hey,
Right.
what's going on with y'all two? Y'all
Uh-huh.
two, like he'll get involved in a relationship,
Yeah.
something that most men don't do, but he's doing
Right.
it because he's like, man, damn it, I got one.
Nah, this needs to
Now
work.
reverse that. Now reverse that and see the mama with the son and a girl that ain't no good.
Same
You know
thing.
what I mean? So
Same exact thing.
So
Yeah.
like it all depends on that maternal paternal relationship with the child and the child's sex, and it's complicated. But yeah,
Ain't you supposed to be sleeping?
yeah, I'm about to go, y'all. So like I just realized how much
I'm
energy
here
that
making
took.
points and shit.
I got
Shut
my
up.
I got my Al Bundy going on and whatnot. Like I'm not even,
Oversharing.
Right.
Oversharing.
What the fuck?
all right. I'm going. All right, guys.
I hope you covered your mouth with that hand too, nigga. Because you was still holding the mic.
Oh. All right, Aunt. Feel better.
All right, peace, guys. Great. Welcome back. Welcome back.
Welcome back. Oh, and then he didn't even hang up. He just
Just put the,
He gonna still laugh at the end.
I'm still here, y'all.
Aunt wants our voices to lull him to sleep. Oh. Let's see. I think we talked for at least an hour and a half, so maybe we'll just go ahead and cut it here, unless there's any final thoughts. Okay, so I will say this. This is my final thought on it. Your responsibility as a friend is to be supportive and loving and reassuring and provide an ear and a shoulder for your friend. I don't think that you have to go through any unnecessary steps unless it was something super traumatic. Like if the ex beat the crap out of them or something like that, then okay, yeah, I understand you might not want any memories. So maybe you make that extra special effort for that. But if y'all just broke up because y'all wasn't getting along and it wasn't working out, don't come to me with that bullshit asking me to delete a whole bunch of stuff. Why do I want to waste my time deleting that past when I have so much living to do in the future? Nope, not going to do it.
Yeah, I don't know a friend who would ask me to do anything. Like, I mean, I think you know your friends. So, she said, you know, she's a good friend and she tries to do stuff. And even New York was like, if it's a really good friend of yours, then they're not asking you to do too much, you know, for you to take an hour out of your time and then this. I'm like, yeah, but it's kind of unnecessary at the same time. Like,
it's an hour I could be napping, making cookies. How about I could spend that hour instead of going through and deleting a whole bunch of pictures, I could be making you brownies from scratch and bringing them to you so we can eat them and talk shit about that nigga.
I can talk to you about why pictures don't matter. Like, chill out.
So
I just
is this the issue that
2 words.
matters?
Stop it.
I couldn't deal with it. I just couldn't deal with it. I'm not.
I've never been asked to do that before.
I'm not programming. If a woman asks me to delete pictures, I would break up with her. It's in a relationship.
Oh no, I've been asked to delete pictures,
So if
but I haven't been asked
ever
by a
asked to delete
friend.
pictures, the relationship is over.
Damn, Lip.
Delete pictures. Fuck you can move on. Like I don't need you.
Shit.
Never gonna be a bride's henchman.
Yes, you are, King. Because here's the thing.
I can make you a bride.
Everything happened in my past. Everything happened in my past. Are you attempting to erase my past like that shit never existed? Guess what? I still fucked her. Why would it matter? Like, It is what it is. It's past pictures. I want to be able to look back on shit that happened in my past and be like, oh, I remember this day. I remember this time. Like literally, I go by and erase my history enough as it is from bad outfits and bad pictures.
You know what you're not going to do, Lou? You are not going to go back and delete a bad outfit, but then tell me as your significant other that you're not going to delete this picture, that every time you look at it, your eyes glaze over and you smile a little bit.
Be petty.
Or write the fuck out of your hand. That's what you're not going to do. Fuck you.
That was a great picture. I will say that. Like, that's a great one. I'm not deleting. I don't care enough about social media to delete pictures for people. That'll never happen, ever. Fucking ever. I won't even delete pictures if I own them, meaning throwing them away. Nah, no, I can not have you see them, but I'm keeping them.
Yeah. And I think that's the thing. They think you're keeping them for like some type of keepsake.
Yeah, I'm keeping them because I remember that day. It's a fucking memory.
That's not why I'm keeping them. I'm keeping them because I'm too lazy to delete them.
Oh, so you gotta delete. See, it's a memory. I like memories. I like shit that make me happy. Like I'm not.
I can see their problem with that.
That's different.
I'm not a normal nigga. Like
that's like the point.
Like I get depressed like shit at times. I need fucking happy memories, and all them jokes ain't you. Like get that shit out your head. It's cool. Like we together. All my happy memories are not going to be you.
And you allergic to cats.
I am. But like all my memories ain't gonna always be you. So I need you to understand, like, if I have a happy moment and I have a picture of this happy moment, sometimes I need a happy moment.
You
and
better delete these.
You
better delete these YouTube joints when you get turned out by the right pussy at some point in your life.
T, shit, fuck. T, I am in my mid-30s at this point. It ain't a pussy God created that could turn me out. So at this point, it's just gonna be when I get in a relationship, this is the type of stuff I expect women to accept. If you can't accept it, say you can't be in a relationship with me.
Somebody's does anyone in this right crowd now, like, hold my beer? Because somebody right now is probably like, oh, that's a challenge.
Yes, they do, Kim, and that'd be the first one to get hooked on you. And then she end up like Rockville, and I gotta cut her off when I see fit to.
It's gonna be somebody in the crowd of your wedding when they be like, does anybody have any reason to why these two shouldn't be married? And all you're gonna hear is like, fucking draw for a podcast.
But I mean, that's just the way I feel. I like happy moments. I hold on to them. I got pictures that I've never posted to anybody to see because when I look at them, it brings happy moments to me. And if that's with me, with someone else, and you feel a certain type of way about it, man, if you don't get over that shit, we can't be together. That has nothing to do with you. It has everything to do with me. It's a personal thing.
I'd like to say that the strength of being able to get past something not being of your liking means more to me than you telling me that you have a problem with it. Like
so much more, T.
Because I'm like, for me, I understand that it's there, but it's there. It ain't like because I take it away, nobody knows about it. And it's like if I have 800 friends on Facebook, all of them knew that I was married at some point. Right. But I understand, like, from the gist of it, the first few if my last profile picture got my ex-wife in it, you know what I mean?
I'm not going to do that. That's different.
I understand deleting stuff like that, but if you got to dig even a little bit to get to shit, I'm like, that's too much.
Different profile pics.
Yeah. That is too much. I know. I think it's your wording, Lou. Your wording is a bit.
It's about being happy, Kim. That's my whole.
My whole thing that is a little bit better, but I mean,
I wouldn't
the bottom.
Go on. I wouldn't even try to finesse it. It'd be like, look here, this picture makes me happy. That's all you need to know. It was a happy moment. It's a happy memory. Guess what? If you try to fucking force me to delete it, you know what's gonna happen? A fucking happy memory is gonna be always stuck in my head because I'm way too visual of a person. When you tell me to delete something and think that shit ain't gonna get stuck in my head.
And just be like, the happiness is also in the progress. I mean, because that's the point in your life of where you are.
I always like. Here's the thing, and I'm gonna say this because way too personal. It's a personal Lou moment. Ching ching.
Every moment is a personal Lou moment.
Personal Lou moment. Here's the thing. I have little to no pictures of me from age 1 to 15. Matter of fact, to 20. Little to no pictures of me from 1 to 20. So when I got comfortable to the point of me taking pictures, I got a lot of moments that I'm just not willing to let go, no matter who's in them.
Mm-hmm.
So again, all of that matters to me. So being somebody who can't pull a picture out from 1, I can't pull a picture out from 1, 5, 10, 8. Like when I see when people bring back pictures of them in high school or elementary school, I have absolutely none of them. None. Because I did not like taking pictures as a kid. So when I got to the point and I'm comfortable and in happy moments, I actually take it. We all hang out. We don't take pictures. Ant is the person who takes pictures.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, I take pictures. I just don't
You do?
post them.
Damn.
Yeah, I got tons. Not tons, but most of our outings, like when we went to go play golf, I have pictures of that on my phone. When we went out for Lou's birthday, I would have pictures of that.
Shit, Joe.
I didn't even see you taking a picture.
Yeah, I'm a memory person.
We've never posed for a picture.
Reach for a phone to take a picture of you all. So the pictures I have of you all, like that shit means us, though. That shit means so much to me. And pictures that I have in certain moments mean so much to me. I'm not willing to delete that. Like
I do take video of us.
Be like, bitch,
I do take lots of video.
Like 10 years ago, taking pictures.
Yeah.
I can't delete shit like this when it represents certain moments in my life, because that's the only time I'm willing to take pictures.
And you know what, Luke? That makes sense. That makes complete and total sense. And I don't think, like to this day, I'm still like, I get the Arthur meme fist when I think about it, or when I start going through my pictures. There's this picture of me and my high school boyfriend at our senior prom. I was so cute. And we were standing beside my car, and I had my arm wrapped around him, and my mom had taken the picture with the Polaroid, and my ex just could not handle it. And I was like, I'm not throwing this picture away.
Fucking prom picture?
It was a prom picture. We were married. And
God, you want nigga? Chill out.
Right. He took the picture, and
you about to say something that will make me whoop his ass.
He cut my ex out of the picture.
Do you know, King?
Have your arm gone.
I don't advocate violence against people.
Ghost arm.
Yes,
but
you do, Lou.
If I took a Polaroid and somebody cut it, you can punch.
Wait, he cut the Polaroid?
He cut the Polaroid, so it's
that
legit.
Your mom took?
Like, yeah, like half a picture of me, and like my arm is just dangling out there, and air is not attached to any other picture.
Ladies,
it's
I
so
love
terrible.
Women. I don't advocate violence against women. If I got a Polaroid picture of anything and you fucking cut it,
it'd be a Polaroid of a Polaroid.
Of a body. Bitch, you get it. Of a body.
Okay.
Fuck no.
So I say that to say I understand what you're saying, and I don't think that anybody should make you throw away your memories.
You can't.
I just think that it's probably going to be I kind of feel like I'd have some sour feelings. It would sting a bit to me if you're like, this makes me happy and you need to get over it. Like, well, shit, I thought I made you happy.
Right.
And that's a selfish thought.
To them, like, you make me happy, but this is a happy moment.
And that's where you have to like
again,
finesse your words.
It's hard because all of those words come with emotions, King, that I don't like. So
that's why we think before we speak.
But I would tell her, like, but to me, if you're with me to the extent where pictures matter, you would already know that.
Here's the thing with I don't want to just say women, with people in general, people in relationships, know when you won, like just know when you won. People don't know how to win.
Damn.
People don't know how to win. Like they act like you're only in this relationship because they asked or some shit. Like no, like know when you won. I don't have to be in a relationship.
Exactly.
Like it's a choice to be in a relationship.
Is not necessary.
It's not mandatory that you're in a relationship.
Yeah.
I'm with you. If I'm with you, you won. You're good. Right.
So be happy. Be happy. Let's be happy.
I feel like I won because I'm with you. And once you get to the point where you can't say how would you feel, that's when you need to start getting over shit. Because when you can't say to me, how would you feel if I did such and such? You know I'm gonna say I don't give a shit. That's when you need to just get over whatever you're going through.
That's when relationships end.
So,
in all honesty, that's when
um,
relationships end.
I saw two things on Facebook this week. It may have even been last week. My weeks are running together because I legit have not left the house since Thursday. So
King Hermit ass, Joe.
I don't want to go out in that cool air, except for when I tried to go to the grocery store to buy groceries and I got there and realized I didn't have my purse. That was the last time I left the house. It's like, fuck this. There's no need for me to, I'm too tired and too worn out and drained to be out here in public. So I saw one meme and it was a picture of a girl. She was sitting on the bed in a robe and she just had like this complete disgusted look on her face. And it was like, my face when you walk in the door and I need you to explain to me why you dated someone before me. And then and I had to, like, I sent that to Chris and he was like, is that a thing? And I was like, sometimes you actually have to, like, some people have issues thinking that you may have loved someone before them and you were happy with someone before them. I don't know why that's a thing, but it is.
I don't think it's a thing.
It can't be a thing.
I think it's just a
maturity
meme
thing.
I think it's just it's a play on.
I would never be in a relationship.
Yeah, I think it's a play on temporary feelings.
And then the second thing I saw, Lou, do you still have liquor? Do you still have something in your cup?
I do.
Good. Okay, because you're probably gonna need to take a sip after this because I don't want you to go on a full rant. But I was reading.
But still, go ahead, King.
I was reading this story that this woman posted where she met a guy. He was a widower, meaning his wife died. Okay. He had a daughter.
Widower sounds like he's been killing his wives for a while.
He wasn't a black widow. Black widow is a woman that kills a man. But anyway, no, it's just that his wife had passed away. She met him and fell in love with him. He had a daughter, and she said that she was never going to date somebody with kids, but she just loved him so much she accepted the daughter too, blah, blah, blah. But she always felt some kind of way when she would walk in his house and see the pictures of his deceased wife up. So they ended up getting engaged. They bought a new house, and when all of the stuff from the old house came to the new house,
if this bitch told him that she could not put his wife up.
No, she put a picture of the wife of the wife and the daughter. So she threw away, and then she gave away and donated and threw away all of the wife's old things.
We wouldn't be
because
together.
She just couldn't. Yeah, that I feel like that's
be together under any circumstance.
She donated it?
Whoa, without his knowledge?
Without his knowledge. So what happened was the daughter has turned.
Don't they got an attic?
And right, or
and
a basement,
she wants from her. She's my baby.
She wants stuff from her mom. Well, she's graduating,
from her mother.
So
she
now
stuff from her mother.
The grandmother.
I thought she was going to say she put it away in a box or some shit.
No, it's totally. If you want to put stuff in storage, you put a couple of memorials up, and then everything else can go somewhere else. That's fine.
So he's still a widower.
Yeah. And so she's like, well, I felt like he never got over her.
I'm about to kill this bitch right here. I'm killing her right here.
She was like, she felt like he never got over her, but it's like there's nothing to get over. Like, yeah, she's like, because I feel like if she were still living, we would have never met. You probably wouldn't have, because he would still be married to his wife.
That's a fact,
bitch.
But
why would we be together?
And so what ended up happening was when the daughter's turning 18 and the grandma, I think the husband's mom was trying to put together like a scrapbook for the daughter, and she started asking for stuff. And then that's when the wife had to admit to the mother-in-law and the husband, I gave away, threw away.
Kim, I'm legit sad over here.
It hurt my heart to read that. Like it really did hurt my heart to read that.
That's some
shit. Okay, for devil's advocate, let's just try to understand her standpoint for a second, because I don't.
She has no side.
But ain't no standpoint.
But hold on, if she feels that, okay, let's say you were getting with someone and they're still not over you're a rebound basically from an ex who passed away. Like, for one, would you just, you got past the point where you said, I just wouldn't date this person because of that. So now you know you dated them for a reason. So she has to understand the reason in which why she dated him, why she married him, why they have a house together, all of that stuff. She was talking about she was trying to get over the kids. It was way beyond the kid.
Right.
It's getting past the kid and the fact that you may be one of the most difficult rebound stories ever is when you're married. I don't even know why he remarried, but
It happens
because he was young. I mean, I could understand if you're like 80 and your spouse passes away.
If you
they were younger.
50s,
they were like in their 30s or something like that.
I'm
I don't
in my
think that
60s,
they were.
I'm remarrying. There's no way I'm not gonna be single for the rest of my life.
I mean, I had an ex pass away, and it's
difficult to move forward with, but
it's difficult to move forward, but age does play a point in it.
Kids play a point in it.
Yeah.
Kids play a big point in it. He had a young daughter when his wife passed away.
But jealousy of someone who's dead,
that's just stupid.
It doesn't make sense.
Yeah, she was like, I felt like it was still her house and everything.
But how when it's only based on the picture? That's right. Shallow as shit.
It's dumb.
Our relationship is over.
Yeah.
The day I found out, if I ever marry someone and that's
not having it up in the house.
Exactly. If you ask me not to put it up, I fully
that's
understand
where I thought we were going.
I would put everything away. I won't even put up one picture. I would let my daughter have pictures because she needs to, because that's her mom.
Yeah.
For me, I would put everything up to make you feel better.
Yeah,
but if you gave that shit away,
attic or something,
it would hurt me to the point of I couldn't continue under any circumstance in a relationship.
No, that's kind of it. That's kind of over because
we ended our relationship. And when I say ended your relationship, I don't believe in ending relationships on bad terms. The moment I find out you did some shit like that, I'm walking out. Fuck you. I would treat you like a complete stranger. There's no way in hell we could ever have. We couldn't communicate with each other ever
because
again.
That's what she did when she sold it. When she donated it, she basically said "F you."
Especially if you know I have a daughter, especially a daughter.
Yeah, that's so much worse.
It was such a selfish gesture.
Most of the stuff passed down to my daughter from her mother. Bitch, you're not her mother. Get this shit in.
But your daughter
take a sip, Lou. Take a sip.
Your daughter would go against you for staying with her.
Said I needed to drink, man.
Your daughter wouldn't accept you for staying with her, given that situation. Your daughter would have every right to be mad at you about that.
Yeah. But I say that to say that there is a certain sorry, Lou. There's a certain level of immaturity, emotional immaturity sometimes that comes with relationships. And
it's
so
the fear.
Yeah, and so like when you say they want you to go through and delete every picture that you ever had,
but what's the
with
fear
that person
there?
Together,
that they gonna get back together?
The part of the fear is back together. The other part is the fear is that you love this person more than me.
No. Okay, yeah, but get back together with the wife who's passed.
Oh no, not the dead wife.
No, not that.
That's what I'm saying. What's the
that.
fear there? Okay,
I think Kim was moving on to any ex that you had.
Yeah. Like obviously you love this woman. You love this woman enough to marry her and have a kid with her. And if she were still alive, you would still be with her. So that's maybe just a reminder or some kind.
You accept that. Like
literally, it just bugs her.
I wouldn't be with you if she was still alive.
I think that was a legit concern with New York.
Matter of fact,
when me and her, because it was. There's no assurance that it's final to the person. She was in a very difficult position as far as it being mutual and it not being a messy divorce type thing. Is that when it's not, you don't, and it is me. You guys know how I am. It just don't seem mad enough. Right. I just don't seem mad enough to where it wouldn't be possible for us to get back together. But the aloof part of me and me meaning what the fuck I say is once I make a decision, I make a decision. I don't make half decisions. So I mean, I kind of understand that worry of you getting back with an ex-wife or something like that, or ex-husband, or whatever the case may be.
But that's also a conversation. Number one, that's the conversation that you can have. Number two, understand that can happen with any relationship. Like,
so the problem with conversations sometimes is that every person that they have experience with, they broke up with.
I can get back with someone who I met before my wife.
Right. It doesn't even have to be that ex.
It does not have to be her.
Or you could just break up. Like, it doesn't even have to be, going back with an ex. So,
and that's where they get over it. That's where they get over it, because they know that the only option isn't that. Yeah.
Get over it.
So just
don't get over that. Like,
just enjoy the time together and work to like make it grow and be happy together.
As Kim said, if I'm with you, you won. You winning right now. She
said that, but
okay. She said, if I'm with you, you winning.
I co-signed that statement.
If I'm with you, you winning right now. Don't think about my exes. That's why I don't really ask much questions.
Yeah.
Like, I don't
playing prevent defense. Like, no.
I don't accept anyone who I get in a relationship with. I don't accept you as a friend on social media under any circumstance.
Wow.
We will.
Okay, so we're gonna. That was like actually my next question, but we're almost at 2 hours, so we'll save that for next week's topic show.
This week it's been.
I must say we talking like shit, and this is such a fun. Like, we're really talking, and I really enjoyed this conversation.
Are you though, Lou?
I do. I am that. Kim, I'm literally standing up right now.
I am actually pacing back and forth between the living room and dining room.
I got my hands sweating over here.
that really upset me on a level that is unbelievable. But
I mean, the topics were real topics this time. Actually, I put it out there that some of our listeners that listen every week, I asked 2 of them, like, throw me some topics that y'all want us to talk about.
Right.
Because that'd be helpful.
Because we like joking a lot, because that's our relationship. In our chat, we break up serious topics a lot.
Mm-hmm.
And if that's something that they want to hear more, that's not an issue at all. Because
yeah, and we're not asking because we can't come up with stuff. We can come up with stuff all day, but it's about what y'all may be interested in hearing.
We still like topics behind from the original episode.
Right.
Yeah.
Which I kind of feel like I want to discuss again. But
exactly. We gonna do that, King. We're gonna do a show where we go back to the original topics, the original episode when our sound quality was absolutely horrible.
I'm not even talking about the original episode. I'm talking about the practice run that we did.
That's what I'm talking about. That episode.
Oh, okay.
That's what I'm talking about.
Cool.
Yeah.
That the lost files that nobody's ever heard.
Yes. Like, oh man, I could really go.
Apparently, when we spend weeks away from each other, we have 2-hour conversations.
Yes. Because I want to talk more, and we're going to continue this on one of Lou's rants.
Cool, but Keem never has dinner before we start this. So
I know, and it's 10:09.
It's a fatal mistake.
It's 10:09. I had some toast. I made some toast because I was like, I'm not gonna make it.
Keem, how you don't eat before you go on and you be at home all day?
Okay, today is the one day where I was at home all day. But usually I don't. If we're doing a show on Tuesday, Wednesday, or Thursday,
you work from home on Mondays,
I get home just before we're about to start the call, so I don't really have time to make myself dinner. I don't always want to eat out and spend money on food. So And also, I don't usually eat until 9 or 9:30. For dinner. So
you're paying practice.
It feels unnatural. What?
Thought Body 2018, you're eating too late.
Thought Body 2017 actually turned out pretty well, and I was still eating at the same hour. I just need to get my ass into the gym.
We are going to get it to remember Janet Jackson on the cover of Rolling Stone?
The one where somebody was holding her boobies?
That's 2018. Thought Body 2018, King. Not that picture. You don't have to take that picture.
I wasn't planning on it.
So look, is what we're going for Thought Body 2018. So we got to start eating at like 7, King.
I'm just gonna go to the gym because my body don't work like that. I'm on a certain food schedule and I can't. Eating that early feels unnatural to me. Maybe when I hit like 45, I'll start eating before 8.
I must say, because we all in our mid-30s at this point. We can't be eating late every day no more.
Y'all can't be eating late every day no more. Usually I don't have breakfast, so like it's a late progression for me.
This is a different conversation we're gonna
Okay. All right. Well, we're ending it on a lighter note then, which is good. So thank you everybody. Oh, let me get back over so I can actually switch this off. I'm far away from my computer. Thanks everyone
we
for
let Mo on for one episode and we turn right back around and have a second 2-hour episode
in a row.
Hey, well, people got stuff to listen to during their workday.
Fuck you like shit, Mo. I just want to say that.
You're such a hater. It's so ridiculous.
I gotta go back to the part of the last episode when Lou started cracking up at your at your avatar. Yeah. That was the part I couldn't make it to today. I just gotta go back to that. That shit
I was listening to it the other whatever day I posted it, which I guess was yesterday. Mm-hmm. And I always go back and listen to it to make sure that everything is okay. And I knew it was coming, so I was fine. But then I don't know, when his voice got extra high, I lost it. So
yeah, I was in real tears. Couldn't stop laughing at that.
Okay, so we will be back. We'll record next Monday. It'll be out next Tuesday for everyone.
I got a couple of episodes that will be popping off shortly.
That's right, because Lou is about to pull Dwayne The Rock Johnson.
No, I am not. I'm doing it on our channel.
Start doing his own spinoff of the franchise.
Spinoff and
I already did a spinoff, and y'all were on the spinoff that I already did one, so can't say it.
And it was lit.
So lit, I think I retired it because I couldn't do that shit by myself.
I mean, we can dedicate like once a month. We can dedicate to a relationship corner episode.
We could.
I'm with it.
I do that shit on myself, but when I do it on my own, I ramble way too much for that. It does not work out properly. But when I do my daily rant, which is going to be a new jump on our channel, Lou's Daily Rant and Lou's Movie Reviews, which is going to encompass some of these niggas sometimes whenever they see movies that I see.
Because everybody wants to hear Lou ranting about shit that nobody else is going to agree with daily.
Hey, the Daily Rant, y'all, that shit is so funny, King.
To you, Lou, it's you. You crack yourself up.
He told you he was funny. Hakeem, I was funny as shit.
It was funny. No, it wasn't, Lou. Yeah, it was. Okay, can't argue with you.
You'll see. I saw posting them jokes, King.
We'll see. We'll have to take a poll of our 26.
Come on, you can be like, oh, that's Lou.
Take a poll of our 26 listeners, our 26 subscribers.
No bullshit. If y'all want me to stop the daily rants, I'm not gonna stop. I'm not gonna lie. Not gonna lie to y'all.
Oh, all right.
Y'all like family now. Y'all cousins.
Thanks everyone.
Lou,
we're signing off. You're still ranting. And that's what you have to look forward to on Lou's Daily Rant every day.
My rant's only 10 minutes, came.
Thanks everyone for rocking with us this evening. We hope to see you back on Tuesday. Subscribe, tell your friends about us. Check out the other channels that we link to in the comment section, in the description section. And y'all leave some comments. Shout out to Mo for always commenting, but I would like to see other people commenting as well and giving us suggestions on what you would like to hear us talk about. So until the next time, don't delete any pictures, and Squad out.